Hello, everyone. Welcome today to your home of Flossmoor Vikings football game. Today in the booth, it will be Preston Lund and Kalel Fargo with the coverage for you. So to start off the game, HF's playing Lockport, and as you guys may know, there is a shortened season, and each team is only playing 6 games right now.
Definitely, the whole 6 game aspect, I see it as this 6 are better than none. These guys have been waiting over 488 days to get back out on this field to show these fans some support, man. So they're going to get out here, they're going to play their best football, and I think we're going to have a great matchup in store tonight, man.
I 100% agree. And with there being no state series, it's going to be interesting to see how the players approach it this year. What's your thought on that?
Definitely. I feel like, a lot of players may look at it like they don't have anything to play for, but I've been talking to some of these players, and they see it as an advantage, a booster. Look, we got to make these 6 games our best games of our lives because you don't know, a lot of things can come out of this. Offers from colleges, anything can happen with these 6 games, so they're going to take these in stride and give it their all.
So as you guys may know, head coach for the Vikings, Coach Buzz, has dealt with leukemia in his long battle for the past year, and I mean,
A staple in the community for the past 10 years. Coach Buzz is the definition of HF football and really had an outcrying of support from players and teams from all over the state of Illinois. They've made his recovery one of the greatest ever. So he's going to come in, he's full recover, he's ready to get back at this thing.
100% agree. It's a huge thing for HF having Coach Buzz on the sideline for this game. We recently got an interview with Coach Buzz about his battle with leukemia.
We keep getting good news. Just actually returned from the doctors today and got some really good news. And so it looks like the visits are going to become spaced more and more apart as we keep moving on. And the doctor's very pleased where we're at, and so are we. So we're, just the fact that we could talk positively about that, and the fact that I get a chance to do what I love and coach some more football.
Wow, such an inspirational story from Coach Buzz.
I mean, definitely. Again, like you said, they're glad to have him back on the sidelines, Preston. He has been a staple in this community. I can't stress that enough. He's really turned this program around. I mean, you talk about the success he's had going to playoffs the last 10 years. We do know they had a tough loss last year to end off the season, but talking with Buzz, he said that's made them stronger, made the guys have a goal to come towards this season to try and get back their revenge. We do know there's going to be no state series this year, but they have a goal in mind. Coach Buzz believes they're going to meet that goal, so we will see.
With that being said, too, this is Coach Buzz's final year with the Vikings and his final home opener as head coach of the Vikings. He will be coaching at Lake Central next year.
Definitely. I mean, I feel that the loss. Well, we're not going to look at the loss right now. You really talk about, just again, I can't stress enough the impact he's had on the community. He's been a staple on and off the field for the last 10 years. So he's going to go out fighting this last year. They have a lot of goals. I believe that they are attainable goals. And they're going to go out, they're going to play their best football, and they're going to do it for Buzz. So this last season is going to be a very exciting farewell tour. We got some great teams on the schedule. We've got Lincoln Way East next week. So it's going to be very exciting just how they take these games and start with this being Buzz's last season, man.
I 100% agree, and I expect Buzz to coach just as well as he has in the past. We interviewed Buzz earlier about tonight's game.
Well, I hope we expect a little bit more than what we've seen in practice. And it's tough. I mean, it's been 2 weeks that we've had our guys together. Our offensive line is 100% totally new. We lost 4 Division I linemen. The guys that are in there are trying to do their best, but it's just not the group that we had last year. And so Coach Cicero's been challenged a lot. That's probably our biggest question mark right now. We do have a new quarterback. Alex Pratt steps in there for Dominic Jones, who was a 3-year starter, and it'd be anxious to see it. He's looked good in practice. He looked good in the red-white game, but under the lights on Friday nights, it's going to be maybe a little bit different. But I got confidence in him. Got a couple of nice receivers, and obviously, our running back, led by Sean Allen, his running back stable is pretty loaded. We like where we're at there, but a lot of it's going to come down to our offensive line, and our defense is pretty much all new from last year. So It's a new experience. It's the least experienced group we've ever had. And then you couple that with some injuries and couple that with a couple other guys that maybe didn't do the right thing, and now they're going to have to sit out for training rule violations. You know, we're a little bit behind the 8 ball, but our motto has always been next guy step up, and we're hoping that we get some young guys that do that and get us through this first game, because Lockport comes back as one of the not maybe the conference favorite behind Lincoln Way East, but certainly up there. They bring almost their whole team back, and they were undefeated the sophomores last year and won the conference. So I know I've heard their coach speak a couple times.
It's a great night for football, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's game at the home Lockport Stadium.
Time and you know, I know they'll come in here loaded for bear, and we're going to have to step up real quickly. It's not like we have one of those easy gimme games to start the year off.
Okay, and down on the field we have reporter Olivia Sawaki in the student section.
Thanks, guys. A recent decision made by HF administration was to allow a small senior section, the first 100 seniors to sign up. We're allowed here at the game. I'm here with senior Simone Dubois. Simone, how are you feeling tonight?
I'm super excited to be here, and it's so good to have a taste of our senior year back, and I'm so excited to just see the football team and all their progress.
Well, I'm super excited for you guys to be here, and I hope you enjoy the game. Back to you guys.
Today's key to the game for the Vikings should be the ground game. The Vikings have to stay true to their nature and pound the rock.
Definitely. We talk about Illinois State commit Sean Allen, over 2,000 yards on the ground. That's a single-season rushing record. He holds that record. So I think Coach Bizet is going to rely on him early in offense to get the offense going and get those little reps where they can't find themselves in an identity offense. He's going to be very key to that in their success tonight. If they can get if they can get it back to how it was last year, this is going to be an easy dub for the Vikings.
I agree with that, and it'll be interesting to see how Sean Allen does do on the ground with a whole new offensive line with nobody returning from last year.
That's right. Brand new offensive line. Those seniors are gone. We've got a whole new group of guys. Talking to Sean, watching some of the practices, these guys seem ready. They're going to take on adversity that they've been facing these last couple of weeks. You read articles online. They are not confident in the Homer Fosterman's offensive line, but if they can block out the haters, block out the noise, they should perform very well. Open up some great lanes for Sean Evans to get some great yardage for tonight.
Another thing for the Vikings is they're going with new quarterback here, and most of their receivers are not returning.
Alex Pratt, you talk about him. He's the talk of the town right now. Alex Pratt is the man. He is the general of the troops for tonight. He's got a great short passing game. He's got a great deep ball. Reminds me a lot of Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills. This guy has a cannon of an arm. He's got some brand new weapons out there. We're going to see how Coach Buzz wants to utilize them. Definitely going to look to utilize Sean Allen out of the backfield. Had a lot of catches out of the backfield last year. He's going to look to repeat that same success this year.
Yes, another interesting thing will be how many times he targets his number one receiver, Miles Walton, in the air tonight.
Definitely, Miles Walton. He's got big shoes to fill. Cincinnati commit Will Pauling, early graduate, left. He's got big shoes to fill. But I think if he could just block out the haters again, go out here, stay true to himself, it'll be an easy matchup for him today.
For the keys to the game, my prediction for this game is I'd say HF 28, Lockport 10. What about you, Kalal?
I'm going to give the game to HF. I'll go ahead and give HF 34, Lockport 7.
Another thing for the Vikings is on defense, young rookie Christian McKinney should have a big impact on this game as a linebacker.
Definitely. They're going to utilize those linebackers. They blitz a lot. Blitz 50% of the time. They're going to make use of those, and they can also drop back in coverage and cover receivers. This is a very athletic group of linebackers led by Jalen Overcoon, sack leader. They're going to look to get them to the quarterback and give them the fits all game, man.
Another thing for the Vikings, too, if they want to stay strong in their secondary, they have to lean on and rely on Kadari Kearns, who was their leading DB last year in return yards, off interceptions, and interceptions.
Definitely 6 interceptions for the guy. He's gonna have some big shoes to fill. That secondary for Homewood Flossmoor took a lot of hit with several seniors like Asias Kern and Lavois McCoy leaving the program, graduating. So he's got big shoes to fill. But I think if he could just stay true to the game plan, utilize that big size that he has, he's a very big guy, 155 plus. Great size on him. If he could use that size to his advantage, it's going to be a tough day for those receivers that's got to go against him.
Another thing, sticking with the size, HF is a very undersized team compared to most teams in their conference and in the state.
Definitely. You talk about the size. I don't think that's going to play a big factor. When you go against a team like Lockport, they're very undersized as well. So I think it'll be an even matchup all across the board when you talk about size. Preston, it's not going to hinder their ability to go out here and compete with these guys. They're going to just take it in stride and continue to go out there and play their brand of football.
Another thing is, it'll also be interesting to see how many times Pratt uses his legs and actually goes for yards on the ground.
Definitely. He's a dual threat quarterback. He can throw it and get on the ground and pick up some yards. So when you get those situations where Lockport decides to blitz, I'm very confident in Pratt's ability to get out of the pocket, roll, get some extra yardage instead of having to play blown dead.
Another thing is, also during warm-ups, Lockport's quarterback did not look really sharp on his passes with his accuracy either.
I mean, it's cold out here. It's windy, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm excited to see what he has. Senior, first-year starter. He's got a lot to prove. He's got a cannon of an arm. Man, you saw it in warm-ups. He's got one heck of a cannon of an arm, throwing all the way from the logo to the end zone. It's going to be very exciting to see that arm in action. If that arm can do him some good tonight, I think Lockport can have a chance.
What do you think of not just the quarterback, all around Lockport's offense, and how do you think they perform against this Viking defense?
We've known over the years Lockport offense has struggled, and they're going against one of the better defenses in the conference, Homewood Flossmoor. We know led by Jalen Olakun. But we do have to realize here, they've been off over 488 days. So I'm not going to hold it against Lockport if they come out a bit rusty, right? It's been 488 days, more than a year and a half. So if they can come out, just take it slow, play to what's given to them, I think it could be an easy going for them coming right into the game, man.
With that being said, this Lockport defense did not look too sharp the last year they have played. I wonder how HF is going to dominate them.
I mean, you talk about that. HF is very big on the run. I can't stress this enough. Illinois State commit Sean Allen is going to have a workload on his hands tonight. He's going to be the main primary offensive generator for them tonight. If they can open up holes, to where Sean can get out to the edge of the field, turn upfield, get those easy yardages, it's going to be a very easy day for Homewood Flossmoor's offense.
It should be a very easy day for the Homewood Flossmoor offense. And you saying Sean Allen, Illinois State commit, he should have a lot of yards on the ground. Could easily break 200 this game too.
I can give it to him. He's got a lot of ability. He's been putting in the work over the offseason. I've seen him train myself. He's put a lot of work on that upper body strength when you talk to him. He's very knowledgeable of the game, and the big thing with him, you have that upper body strength. You can hold yourself up when you're going down to the ground, able to get those defenders off you and go for extra yardage. So that's going to be a big thing. I could see Sean getting 30-plus clears tonight. Like you said, Preston, 200-plus yards, so they'll give him for Sean. He's going to have a lot of workload on him tonight. And the big thing I can't stress enough, those 488 days. What has he done those 488 days to make his game better, make himself stronger? Those are all going to play factors into how he performs tonight, Preston.
I agree. And another thing with Sean, too, it's not uncommon for him to have a 200-yard game. We saw it all last year, even some 300-yard games. It's not uncommon for the kid.
It's not. You talk about his ability, his evolution from junior to senior year, from sophomore to junior year. Those are all played into the factors of the work that this guy puts in. I've known Sean the last 2 years, and the amount of work he does on the daily, his workout regimen is the key to his success. Just about how many times he lifts a day, how many squats he does a day. It all culminates into what you see every Friday night, and it's going to play big dividend tonight.
And we are underway with the kickoff. Picked up in return for very few yards by HF's number 8, Giles Walton.
Giles Walton on return. Tackle made by
Now
Donald
taking the field for your Homewood Flossmoor Vikings, the offense led by quarterback Alexander Pratt and running back Sean Allen.
Going to be very interesting, Preston, to see what Buzz draws up for the first play out of here.
Now it's found a quarterback for the Vikings. Sean Allen, they're running back.
Pratt drops back. Complete to number 2, Miles Walton, for a 10-yard gain.
We can see that he's already making utilize of Walton early. Going into, we saw he ran that little short route, came back, caught the ball. That chemistry, we're seeing it now early on. I was pretty surprised they didn't give to Sean Allen, but looks like Bazia's got a couple players hitting up his sleeve he's going to showcase tonight.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Almost like Lockport had no clue what they were doing there on that coverage.
Definitely. As we see it here again, they're going to go 4 receivers. The 4 receivers. Looks like Sean could even possibly come out and catch a pass here.
Running back Sean Allen, motion out of the backfield. Complete to number 5, Allen. Cuts out for about 3 yards.
Great play, just not very good blocking on that play by the HF's offensive line. Something we talked about in pregame, Preston, and it's not looking too good so far, but they've got a whole another 3 quarters to fix it. That play could have been for something big there, but again, they've got all night to fix it, Preston.
That's another thing. Sean Allen showing off his great receiving skills, too. He's not just a downhill runner. He can do it on both sides.
Definitely. He's a dual threat. I can't stress this enough. He can catch the ball out of the backfield and run it on the ground. We're seeing it here early as he just went to him that last play. He can line up anywhere on the field at all times.
That pass was dropped by Miles Walton for a short yard attempt.
And don't be shocked if you see too many drop passes tonight. The weather is not in HF's favor. It's a bit windy up here where we're sitting at. We feel the wind blowing in our faces. It's cold. They've been out here warming up. So if their body starts to naturally heat up, it's going to play a factor. You're going to see fewer of those drop balls tonight.
Another thing with the drop balls, this is pretty much a whole new receiving staff for the Vikings.
Definitely. It's
not
a
many
brand new
returners.
receiving staff. Brand new, but I think if they can develop that chemistry as they go throughout these 6 games with Alex Pratt, I think you'll see it evolve over time. It's going to be their first game here tonight. It's going to be a bit rusty.
Handoff, Sean Allen for a big gain for the Viking, just short of a Viking first down.
There it is. I talk about that ability. We talked about that offensive line. They've made a hole there. If they can continue to make those holes throughout this game, it's going to be a big day for this offense. Great ability up front, stopping the blitz. You saw Lockport's linebackers try and go up the middle. They were on it right away, led to the big game for Sean Allen.
It is 4th and 2 here for the Vikings, and they are keeping the offense out there, and it looks like they're going for it.
Big decision by Buzz. Hey, nothing's off limit. Your last season. Let's see what they go with here.
Handoff to Sean Allen, and he is good for the first down.
Very bold choice there by Coach Buzz to go for it on a 4th down. But hey, nothing's off limit in this game. We're going to see a lot of the young guys get out here and get some experience. They're definitely going to go for it a lot more on 4th down this season.
HF has stayed true to their identity here on this opening drive so far. The majority of their plays coming on the ground and pounding the rock.
Definitely. I mean, we talked about that's going to be the key to the game tonight. Sean Allen getting those carries, finding those lanes, and creating the yardage. It's going to be very exciting to see what he decides to do.
Pratt drops back, looks for Miles Walton, cuts outfield. Looks like he is just short of the first down
right there. I was just about to say it. Great ability by Walton getting open there. I'm looking here at the field. I didn't think he'd be able to get open. He got open. He made the catch, was able to fight off the defender, get some yards. That's going to be the key to his success tonight. Pratt being able to recognize what the receivers are doing and be able to trust them.
The Vikings going with a little bit of a hurry-up offense here. Pratt, handoff to Sean Allen. Sean cuts up the field. That's good for Viking. First down.
We talk about the ability. Sean running uphill, you saw it there. You thought the play was going to be blown behind the line. Managed to stay up on his feet. I continue to talk about that upper body strength. We saw it in play right there, using it to hold himself up, go up the middle, find a hole, get the first down for the Vikings offense.
Another thing here, too, is when Sean Allen gets space, he is gone. You're not going to catch him.
Yes, I've seen him run a 40-time unofficial of 4.22. This cat has got some speed. We're going to see it tonight. If he can get into the open field, we're going to see that speed on showcase tonight.
Pratt complete to Darnell Jones for a short game for the Vikings.
That's another screen pass, the third of this drive. They're making an emphasis on tricking the Lockport defense to get them to think that they're going to do something different. Those screens have been playing very vital roles so far. Not a lot of yardage coming out of those plays, but it is moving them down the field nonetheless.
Another thing here, too, with the Vikings is you're not going to see them beat you deep that often.
I mean, no, this is we talk about it, the very undersized roster. Very unlikely they'll go deep early on, but you never know. It's going to be exciting to see what they have downfield. Just test the ability. I would say practice, throw it down there, trust your receiver, 50-50 ball, see what you have. It's not right now a big focus, but should be later on in this game. Right now we've seen them around the screen pass and the run game, and we've seen it work success. They're just past their logo here.
It'll be a timeout.
A timeout here. Very interesting choice by Buzz, but hey, he must see something he's not liking. Again, this is an all-new group of receivers.
And we will be cutting to a commercial here. You are watching Viking Football on VTV.
Lockport Animal Hospital is a full-service, dedicated to providing clients with veterinary health. Our mission is to offer the best animal health care available. Lockport Animal Hospital, providing excellence in pet health care. Buy when you can borrow. Stop by today and check out More Than Books. Since opening in 1996, Flossmoor Station Restaurant has been all about quality. From a lively atmosphere and not to mention the friendly, knowledgeable staff. Our gourmet food pub combines quality fare with locally sourced seasonal specials that will keep you coming back and back again.
Welcome back, everyone. London Fargo here with you again. HF staying true to their identity at the start. Short passes, screens, run, pounding the rock with Sean Allen.
Definitely. Nothing's been off limit here. We've been seeing, again, an experiment in the offense because there are new weapons out here for HF. As we see they're coming out of timeout, they're going to go 4 receivers for this play. Very interesting to see what Buzz have up his sleeves coming out of timeout.
HF lining, splitting 4 out. Sean Allen in the backfield here. Throw to number 10, Darnell Ballard by the Vikings for completion for just short of for a Viking first down.
Great ability, great fake out ability by Pratt. Tricks the defense. Think Sean had it. Gets an easy wide open receiver right there for a good game. Again, this trickeration by this Viking offense is leading to success so far.
It was a good job by Ballard to fight for the extra yards to get the first down there too, Kalel.
Definitely another
Pratt
pass
drops
here.
back, looks for the
There's
end
that
zone.
big ball.
Touchdown, Miles Walton.
We said he'd be a big factor. He's shown us early here. We talked about the deep ball. I said go for it. He went for it, Preston, did he not?
It was not even close. That looked like blown coverage, and he just blew right by that DB for Lockport.
Touchdown. Led to a touchdown for the Vikings. Very excited to see more of that later on this season. We've seen him work success so far. You saw him beat the receive defensive back with his speed. Walton just ran right by him, was able to get right under the ball, right in the breadbasket. Pratt knew where to put it, led to a touchdown.
Ethan Lindquist lines up for the extra point for the Vikings. And a timeout is called by the Vikings. Interesting decision there by HF.
Very interesting. Maybe Buzz has something up his sleeve, saw something he didn't like. But going back to that play, Preston, you talk about just the unique ability of Miles Baldwin to get open. We saw it there. The guy's like a Swiss Army knife. Nice, small, compact size, can get into spaces that other receivers may not be able to. And you saw it there in that last play, using that speed to his advantage.
Even though HF scored on their opening drive, looks like they're a little bit rattled with the timeouts calling for an extra point.
I don't know. I'm just as clueless as you, but you look at it like this, Preston. Look, but nothing's off limits, okay? Buzz has got to see what he's got in that bag of tricks of his. He's got a brand new full of receivers, brand new toys to play with. It's going to be very exciting. So maybe he's got to play up his sleeve here.
And you might think they're going for two after calling a timeout, but no, they are. It looks like they're keeping the extra point and special teams unit out there.
It's all about the battle of psychology. Buzz is going to outsmart Lockport's head coach. You look at him, call a timeout. Well, boom, look. What's going through Lockport's head coach's mind? Oh, snap. They're going for it. Going for two.
Ethan Lindquist with the extra point. Kick is up, and kick is good.
Go ahead. He goes for the field goal. It's going to be a battle of psychology here. Buzz has been in this business for over the last 30 years, and it's paying dividend right now.
Score is Viking 7, Lockport Porters 0 with 7:34 to go. And it'll be interesting to see what the Vikings show here on defense.
Definitely. Very excited to see this team led by Jalen Olakun, 6.5 sacks a year ago. Going to be excited to see what he can do. He's headed to Oregon. Very, very, very athletic young man. He can do it all. Drop back in coverage. Again, blitz the pass rusher. It's going to be very exciting to see how Coach Zach Wells using him.
It'll be interesting to see also, Kalel, how, rookie for varsity linebacker Chris McKinney will do in his debut on varsity.
Definitely. Filling the shoes of Jalen Olakun is going to be a big task for him, but I think he can do it. Very tall individual, very lengthy. He's going to use that size to his advantage, especially when he decides to drop him back in coverage. He's going to be to his advantage. He's going to be able to stick with the receivers more with his long arm size. It's going to be very exciting to see how he's using that to his advantage.
Lindquist to kick off here for the Vikings. Another thing, talking about McKinney, his brother, too, was on the team last year for the defense. That's some big shoes to fill.
Definitely. You talk to McKinney. He talks about he looked up to his brother. That was his role model. He models his game after him. So it's going to be very exciting to see just how he feels the shoes of his brother. Very exciting to see that.
Pretty good return there for Lockport by number 1, Danny Martzik. Now taking the field is the Vikings defense, and see what they show.
Definitely. It's going to be exciting. 488 days. I can't stress this enough. The last time we were on a football field, November 16, 2019. Going to be very exciting to see what type of packages they show. And as we can see early on here, looks like they're
lining up 3 on the line. HF going strong in the secondary here. Lockport lining up 4 out.
Looks like they're playing for the pass. And it indeed is a pass.
That is complete to number 22, William Urban for Lockport.
We saw in that last play, Preston, they had enough DBs out there to force them to go out of bounds, stop any extra yardage up the field.
Another thing for HF, too, on defense is they're going to want to force them. They're going to want to almost force them inbounds to keep the clock running. That's what they do with the run game, too. They chew clock pretty well.
Definitely. We see it here. They're keeping them away from those sidelines. Time is on their side right now, so if they can keep them in bounds, stop them from going out of bounds, stopping the clock is going to play into their favor here tonight.
Carry by number 22, William Urban for Lockport, and that'll be a first down for the Porters.
They've got to get a handle on that running game. They just got bullied up front there that last play. They've got to get a handle on that so they can stop that, and that's going to, again, lead to them getting off the field here.
Drop back to pass. Incomplete to number 4. A great defense there by the Vikings.
We saw Pfeiffer in the warm-ups targeting downfield. That's been his bread and butter. It's going to be his bread and butter tonight, Preston. We saw it there. It didn't succeed. Don't look for him not to shy away from the deep ball, though. One try, one miss. He's got all night to fix that.
Giles Walton with great defense there, too, on the play. That's very helpful and useful. And key piece for the Vikings with him being able to play on the offense and the defensive side of the ball.
Definitely. It's very hard to find that nowadays, for a guy to be able to go out play on offensive side, get right back out there playing on defensive side. You saw it right there. Didn't affect him. Was able to break up the pass, was there, beat the ball there, was covering the receiver all the way. And we saw that led to a broken up pass and completion.
The Porters lining up 4 out. Pfeiffer in shotgun. Snap is off. Drops back.
And they blitz him right away, but they get the ball out. We saw it right there. Defensive coordinator Zach Wells is stressing the blitz. He barely had time to drop back and look around.
That Viking defense was swarming on that play for a tackle for loss, too.
Definitely. Again, we keep talking about keys to the game. Defense getting out there, hitting the ground running. They've been doing that so far.
If this defense can force turnovers, there's no reason the Vikings shouldn't blow them out this game either.
Hey, anything's possible. First game back. Very excited to see what this defensive coordinator have up his sleeve.
Lockport lining up 2 on each side. Pfeiffer drops back. Under pressure. And that is complete.
He ruled that a catch. He was able to fit that into a tight space. Pfeiffer using his ability to roll out, saw the receiver, saw he had a window, got it in there, got a completion.
It was a great catch by wide receiver Keegan Robertson, too, for Lockport.
Definitely. We saw him targeting him in earlier in the warm-ups. They had a connection. Pfeiffer's going to really rely on him tonight.
Pfeiffer drops back again.
There's that blitz.
And there's a flag on the play.
Blitz was coming on that one. Pfeiffer didn't have a lot of time. You saw that Pfeiffer used his legs, got up out of there, got out of the pocket, and used his legs, his ability.
Okay.
But there's a flag on a play. If that flag had not been on the play, if there had not been a flag on that play would have broken out for big yardage.
Lockport not really pounding the rock or staying on the ground all through the air pretty much so far. Just one run for them.
We've seen it with the blitz. Homewood Flossmoor is relying on that blitz tonight, and it's paying dividend in their favor right now. They've been getting back there to Pfeiffer. He's been having a hard time. He's been using that defense, sitting those linebackers, is going to give them trouble all night tonight, and that's why they've been straying away from the run.
Let's send it down to our sideline reporter, Olivia Sawaki.
We're here with athletic trainer Danny Werner. Danny, how are you feeling seeing all your athletes back out on the field tonight?
I'm feeling really good. It honestly makes my heart so happy, especially having kids in the stands and everything like that. I mean, this is what they all look forward to, so it's really good to see.
We're all super excited to see them back out too. Thanks, Danny, and back to you guys.
Thank you, Olivia. And the flag on the play here.
That makes 2 flags in the last minute and 30 seconds. Referees are not playing around tonight.
No, Kalal, and it's 2nd and 7th for Lockport. It'll be interesting to see where they go here. I mean, not many plays on the ground, but, I mean, you might have to go on the ground here. You know, just chip away at it.
Definitely. Keep your options open. Be able to go in that playbook and say, look, we're in this scenario. We've got these options. Never limit yourself to one option here. It can go any way, any side of the coin here. We'll see what they do.
Lockport looking confused and panicking right here on offense.
4 receivers here for him.
HF showing blitz. Drops back. Well, another thing here, too, is HF's defense, they've been showing a lot of blitz, and they've been bringing it, and they've also haven't been. They've lined up 3, and then, I mean, they're doing good in hiding their formations.
Psychology is the name of the game, my friend. You use it, you get them like that. Now you have Pfeiffer going back, calling audible. Now you're ditching the original play. You're going out, you're saying, look, they're showing this. Now we've got to go to this. Then they turn out and they not do that.
We're going to go to a commercial break. You're watching Viking Football on VTV.
Welcome to J&S Gold and Diamond Exchange. We're here to buy, sell, or pawn things of value. We have been here in business since 1964, servicing the community.
For generations, Krispy Kreme has been serving delicious donuts and coffee. Our mission is to serve the community and make the most awesome donuts on the planet every single day. So stop by Krispy Kreme today.
Welcome back, everyone, and out of the timeout. The Porters are not keeping their offense out there on 4th and 5, and will punt it away.
Definitely. We saw HF do the complete opposite. Go ahead, went for it. It paid off. But Lockport, they're going to trust their defense. They're going to expect them to go out there and get a stop and get this offense back on there. This first drive for the Lockport Porters was not the best one, and a very poor punt there. Goes out of bounds. Going to be great starting field position for Coach Bazia. Let's see how he plays this, man.
That was a duck snort for the Porters. And then, I mean, the Vikings got to be thrilled with that.
Definitely. Great starting field position. That offense went out there. We saw scored a touchdown on the very first drive of the game. Going to go out here. Going to look to do the same. Going to definitely get to keep Miles Walton involved in the pass game. If him and Pratt can continue to keep that connection going, continue to just be able to know each other at all times on the field, that's going to be the key to their success tonight on offense.
The Vikings with short field position here, too. Would not be surprised to see them go down there and score fast.
Definitely going to look to see Sean Allen involved a lot more in on this drive in the passing game. He's a great threat out of the backfield and can do it on the run. Not a lot of runs that first drive. Look to see Buzz get him incorporated early in this second drive.
The Vikings starting on the 35, and looks like they're lining up 3. That's a new formation. They've lined up 4 every time. That's new for them this game.
Definitely going to look to see what they do out of this formation. There's a number of different ways you could look at it. You could say, you know what, do a little play action pass, have Allen come out of the backfield, go upfield, an easy open outlet for Pratt to throw to if the pocket decides to collapse on him. Very interested to see what Buzz does out of this formation.
Another thing, too, is rookie quarterback Pratt for the Vikings looked pretty good on that opening drive, throwing a touchdown.
Definitely. We saw that Ken of his arm. Just sort of had the confidence in Miles Walton, drop back, threw the ball right in the breadbasket, touchdown. He's been very key on having that connection with Walton, and we've seen it pay off, led to a touchdown the very first drive. Going to be very excited to see Pratt just continue to develop through this game and through the season.
It'll be interesting to see how many times he targets Sean Allen through the air this game, too. We've already seen it once.
Definitely. Sean Allen is going to be a big part of the success. Like we said on the ground, you just said through the air. You'll be very excited. Surprised they've not gone to him only except one time today that was for a completion. So we're going to look to see it again here on this second drive. Look to get Allen involved in the passing game. That makes a dual threat between him and Walton through the air.
Pratt is in shotgun formation with Allen in the backfield. Pratt drops back. He looks deep. And that is incomplete to wide receiver Darnell Jones.
Could have been a big play right there, but the pocket was collapsing. But great idea for Pratt to hold his composure, trust his receiver. He saw a window. He tried to fit it through that window. It didn't work. This is going to happen. This is what happened when you have a first-year quarterback like Pratt. You just go out. You got to trust your instincts sometimes. He trusted there. It just didn't work out. Those are part of the growing pains when you have first-year quarterback like Pratt. We're going to look to see those incompletions turn into completions as they go throughout the season and fine-tune his craft.
HF not staying true to their identity here and taking a lot of deep shots early.
Definitely. Like you said, those receivers, those deep shots are going to play vital into success, as we just saw a pass completion right there.
Pratt complete for a short 5-yard game to Miles Walton.
Miles Walton again. We can't stress this enough. He has been his favorite target on the field so far. We're not even halfway through the first quarter. He's already got 4 receptions to his name and a touchdown. He's going to be very excited to see how they continue to use him, how they continue to find different, unique ways to get him open tonight.
HF lining up 4 out wide. Pratt in shotgun. Allen in the backfield. Snap is off. Snap is high. Pratt looks to number 10, Daniel Ballard, for Viking first down.
Another fake there by Coach Craig Bazia. Been very, very dependent on those fakes, and the defense has been falling for it every time. You see they blitz, they send everybody to Sean, leaves number 10 open, leads to completion and a first down. We saw that in that last play. We saw again the fake. I can't stress this enough. They committed to the run. They failed, led to an open receiver and a first down for Homewood Flossmoor.
Pratt in the backfield. Ballard in motion. Handoff to Sean Allen. Stuffed at the line.
We talked about this in pregame. That offensive line did very well. Their first drive, second drive, looking a bit rusty here. They've got to get going here. They've got to shake off the rust and can't be pushed around by Lockport's D line. If that happens, Sean's not going to have any running room tonight. We've seen him stray away from the run early on.
I agree, and these linemen have to hold their blocks. I mean, it is a brand new offensive line. 2nd and 10 for the Vikings, 49 to go. Pratt drops back, looks for Allen, fakes to Walton. Walton cuts upfield to the 30, and he is forced out for a 20-yard gain for Miles Walton.
There it is, that big playability of Alex Pratt. He saw Walton. He didn't panic. It was going his way. He got the ball off to Walton, turned it upfield for a 20-yard gain. If he was not forced out of bounds, could have easily went to the house.
You see Miles Walton there, too, cutting across the field. He didn't cut straight up. He cut across. I mean, that's
using
speed.
That speed, definitely. Like we just said, using that speed to his advantage. All you saw was dust behind him. He's that fast, and we saw it there in that previous play.
Miles Walton has been Pratt's favorite target so far on offense, too, through the air. Handoff, Sean Allen cuts out for about a 3-yard gain for the Vikings.
Not the best play there by the O-line, but it did generate some running room for Sean Allen. They've got to continue to do that. These little gains are going to add up for Sean. He's probably first right now, but if he can just trust the offensive line, if they can continue to make plays like that, the running lanes are going to open up for Sean. But nonetheless, a gain is a gain. They got 3 yards out of it. The offensive line is starting to improve here as this drive continues.
Another key for Sean Allen, too, is you got to learn your alignment. No matter how much you practice, it's still different in game situation.
Definitely. It's 488 days since these guys have had live football against another team. As a completion there by Pratt, like we said, trusting that arm of his.
Completion by Pratt to Miles Walton for a Viking first down.
Walton again. He's in store for a big game. We're not even out of the first.
No, we're not. And you've seen Walton's route running ability, too. He's just breaking away from the defender. He's leaving him on an island.
The separation ability is just unbelievable. Just how fast he can get open, get away from his man, and generate the speed is just unbelievable. We've never seen it before here at HF. Walton could set the tone for receivers going throughout this program.
HF running Wildcat with running back Sean Allen. And he cuts upfield for, looks like a Viking, just short of a Viking first down.
Very interesting goal there. We've seen Sean in the Wildcat before. Was very shocked to see it this close to the end zone. Nonetheless, it paid off. That big hole the offensive line made him go straight up the middle. Was almost a touchdown.
And it looks like they did give it to him for 11 yards for a Viking first down. It'll be first and goal here for the Vikings. 7 to go.
Very interesting decision on that last play to go Wildcat, but it resulted going Wildcat again here.
And he'll be stuffed here at the line.
Didn't pay out as good as the 11-yard gain. They had to play a goal. But if they can keep that in the cycle of rotational plays, it's going to be very exciting to see just how they use it to throw off Lockport's defense.
Another thing, too, is you see they want to get Sean Allen going. They're trying. It's just the line's not really holding blocks for him.
He is the engine of this offense, and we've seen it early. Sean is getting open. He's making utilization of those holes the line is creating. Haven't been big holes, but they've been holes. And again, I keep saying this, those little games are going to amount to big games later on in this game.
HF in the air, play action. And that'll be complete to Ballard for a short game, short of the end zone.
Short of the end zone, went for the play action pass. Lockport sent the linebackers were all in Pratt's face. The best decision right there was to dump it off. And we saw it was in positive yardage.
3rd and 5 for the Vikings. Interesting to see what they'll go with here, if they'll go through the air or on the ground.
I've got my money. They're going to give it to Sean Allen.
Yeah, I think they're going to stay here upon the rock. I wouldn't be surprised if they ran Wildcat again either.
11 touchdowns for Allen on the ground. That guy was a beast, and we see it here today. Wouldn't be surprised, like you just said, Preston, if they decided to go on the ground. My money's they're going to go on the ground here.
HF going with the huddle. They've been pretty much no huddle for most of this game with a hurry-up offense. Handoff, running back, Sean Allen, cuts out to the left, and he'll walk into the end zone for a Viking touchdown.
Great blocking up front by that O-line. We talked about it. They played sloppy to start off the second drive, fixed those mistakes, led to a touchdown. Stopped the defense from getting to the outside. left a quick path for Sean to get to the end zone, results in a touchdown.
As you can see right here, he just blew right by the defenders. I mean, just cut to the left and nobody was there. All the linemen held their blocks.
Allen's speed is unbelievable. You talk about it again, that 40-yard dash time, we're seeing it in full effect here today, and that again resulted in a touchdown. First on the year for Sean Allen.
Ethan Lindquist with the extra point, and the extra point is up and good. 14-0 Vikings.
Offense is coming out big time here. 14-0 here. Fourth quarter's wrapping up. Rust is no more here in Flossmoor. You talk about just coming into this game, what were the expectations? I don't think anybody expected this. Offense has come out firing on all cylinders. Let's see what the defense can keep up with them.
With HF having 14 early on in the game, I mean, that's going to blow out our prediction for the score.
Definitely. Hey, you gave them less than 30. They're probably going to hit that. If they can, again, keep this tempo going that you saw them. They went with no huddle. It kept that tempo going, kept the blood flowing in their body, kept Lockport off their hinges a bit, and we've seen it work to success tonight.
With the way this game's looking, it's looking like it's not even going to be close. Lockport's offense has looked struggled out there. They're fighting for every yard.
We saw Pfeiffer in warm-up. He was struggling. It's a different environment. Hey, it's windy, it's cold, but I wouldn't count Pfeiffer out. He's got a cannon of an arm. We saw it early in warm-ups today. It's going to be on display. It hasn't been working so far. Only one deep shot. That was an incompletion. He's going to look to go back to that deep ball again later tonight.
This is also, staying with that, another thing on that is it's not an easy game for Pfeiffer either, with it being a home opener road game against one of the toughest teams in the state for the past 10 years.
Definitely. Normally, we'd have the Ketty Crazies here. They'd be rocking. They'd be having the bleachers rocking. We'd be a great atmosphere here in Flossmoor. Different times. Doesn't have that luxury here in Flossmoor. But we still see with the few fans that we do have, the parents of the athletes, it's still been affecting his ability so far.
Lockport will have the ball at the 20 to begin this drive. Lockport offense about to take the field, led by quarterback Riley Pfeiffer. He hasn't looked too sharp.
Hasn't. I can't stress that enough. Look, he hasn't had enough time in the pocket. He's tried to use his legs. Flags have been thrown. Those plays have been blown dead. It has been a tough night for that offense, and they've struggled last year too. So coming into this year, you figured it'd be a lot different, but no, those same struggles continue tonight.
Well, the Viking defense has been all over him, and multiple pressures by defensive lineman Justin Thomas, number 52 for the Vikings.
Definitely causing the offensive line for Pfeiffer to break down. Pressure's coming in his face. He's panicking. He doesn't know what to do. He can't see. He just has to take the ball, run down there, and get whatever yards he can.
Snap is off. Play action. Pfeiffer rolling out left. That'll be complete to number 80, his tight end, Kyle Yellen.
I talk about the ability of his legs. You saw it there. Pressure was coming to him. Rolled out. Saw his man. Saw the window. Realized the opportunity. Completed it. Got the first down.
That was a great play there by Pfeiffer, rolling out, not taking the pressure, stuck with it, committed to the play.
Definitely, commitment's going to be big time for his kid. If he can stay committed to the play, trust the receivers, he can turn this game around. But right now, it's not playing in their favor.
1st and 10 for the Porters. It'll be interesting to see if they start going with more of a run game here. And it'll be a screen to Riley Yelling again for about a gain of 4.
Second time this drive, they went for Yelling. It's been complete both times. He's going to be a big factor for Pfeiffer. If they can keep that connection, if Yelling can continue to get open, it's going to be a great night for Pfeiffer, who's had a rough night so far.
Pfeiffer's looked towards Yelling and Robertson a lot this game.
Definitely. You talk about just this game in general. We're not even halfway through the first. We're coming to the end of the first here. Pfeiffer has been struggling, but it's starting to get that chemistry with, like you said, Yelling as he takes a shot downfield here.
Pfeiffer looked downfield. Incomplete. Almost picked off by the Vikings. Number 20, Andrew Lepresti.
There's that pressure there. They're sending that pressure, making it hard for Pfeiffer to know his whereabouts, and we saw.
We'll be cutting to a commercial. You're watching Viking Football on VTV.
We all have one. That perfect spot. A special place where you can go to smooth out the ripples of the day. It might be in the hallway or in the radio station. It might be in the television studio or in an editing room with friends. Wherever it may be, creating a masterpiece is the ultimate goal. It allows us to escape from anything weighing down on us, from anything hampering our day. Our perfect spot is calming. Our perfect spot is Viking Broadcasting.
We just ended the first quarter. Vikings are up 14-0. There are great energy in the stands, great energy on the sidelines, and you can really see that energy transfer back onto the field. Vikings are coming off strong in the first quarter. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Olivia. And yeah, I mean, the Vikings at least having to have some fans here and have it some sort of normalcy.
Yeah, they're definitely feeding off that energy. It hasn't been loud, but the fans are still cheering them on. It's played success so far, 14-0 going into the second. They can continue to take in the energy and utilize it to their advantage. I think it'll be a nice night for the offense here.
The ball on the 32 for Lockport. HF lining up 3 on the line, showing blitz. Snaps off. The quarterback keeper, and he is blown up.
That's that blitz. You just gave it. That was a nice blitz by
That was number 44, Paul Raff, for the Vikings, who made the tackle.
Great play. Shot right through the gap, got to the quarterback. Pfeiffer didn't know what to do there.
No. That's Lockport's only third run on the ground, and one of them with the quarterback.
Very interesting. But we talked about dual threat of Pfeiffer. We saw it there. They've been trying to get it going, but it's just hasn't been panning out. Very good, interesting to see how Pfeiffer takes this blitz, how the offensive line looks to stop it.
That was an interesting play call on third down, and now Lockport will send the punting unit out in their own territory.
Very, very interesting decision. They've been having struggles tonight. I'm surprised they didn't go for it. They need to get something going here. They need to get some points on the board before the half.
HF with Giles Walton and Darnell Jones in the backfield. And that ball will back all the way up to about the 26 for the Vikings. Great punt there by Lockport.
Not the best start of field position for Pratt in the offense, but look, we've seen Pratt just early on in this game. Pressure's been coming. He's been rolling out. He's been making the passes. They've been complete. So it's very interesting to see what Buzz does here at the tight 26-yard line. He's got a long way to go before the end zone, but he's got a lot of time on his hand. Probably look to get shot out and a couple carries in on this drive.
Lockport punter Gabriel Sazako did not look good on his first punt, but I'd say he redeemed himself there for the Porters.
Definitely. That defense played a big role in stopping Pfeiffer and offense there. Now we'll see if the offense can keep their momentum up.
HF lining up 3 out. Expect Sean Allen to get the ball here. No, Sean Allen goes out. Pass complete to Darnell Jones for a short game for the Vikings.
We saw it, another fake, that screen pass. It's been playing into HF's favor so far. They've been getting those good 5-6 yardage plays. This is going to be very exciting to see how Buzz utilizes throughout the game. It's been playing in their favor early, like I just said. Saw it just there a moment ago. Led to positive yardage.
HF too, with them, like you said, with them staying true to their screen games, I mean, they're going to just wear down the Porter defense.
Definitely. You've been seeing Porter's defensive backs be a bit discombobulated as Allen takes the carry here.
Hand off to Sean Allen, and he is good for a Viking first down.
You see the defensive backs, they were in the pass. Boom. Gets it to Allen, right up the middle, gets the first down.
I mean, 2nd and 3, Sean Allen with a full head of steam. Not many teams are stopping that.
No. The guy's like a big freight train coming at you. Once he gets going, you can't stop him. We saw it there. First down.
And Allen's only just heating up throughout this game. He started out slow, but he started to pick it up.
Definitely, and that goes back to the offensive line. They're starting to come together as a unit. Get that gel together, stop the pressure from getting back to Allen, open up running lanes. Expect Allen to get a lot more running lanes going throughout this game.
Expect him to get the ball through the air, too, as HF sends a motion man.
A little jet sweep action.
Jet sweep does not pay off with about a 2-yard gain for the Vikings.
We saw it there. Offensive line got punked around there a bit. You see, led to a 2-yard gain. But a gain nonetheless. They've got to stop that pressure from getting back there, get the receivers enough room to get out there, get up space, and turn upfield for big yardage.
That jet sweep was to number 23, Cameron Cox for the Vikings, making his first varsity debut as a sophomore.
Definitely excited to see these young guys. Just one of the many sophomores on this roster is going to get a chance to shine tonight. And let's see how Buzz gets incorporated. We saw with the little behind the pass line there, behind the O-line. Didn't work out there. but we'll see how he does.
Second and 8 for the Vikings. Pratt looks deep to Walton, and that's going to be incomplete.
We saw
with
the
two
pressure.
Lockport defenders by Walton.
He felt the pressure behind him, was able to stay composed, make the throw. Wasn't the best of the throw. He was covered. He made the throw nonetheless, was incomplete.
Walton is down for the Vikings. It's the Vikings' leading receiver tonight.
Official timeout. 10 to an injured
Looks
player.
like Walton got crunched in between two Lockport defenders.
We saw that. Came down, crashing down there, trying to get the ball, missed the ball, came down crashing there.
This looks like a head injury here for Walton. It's not a good thing.
Definitely, and if Walton is out for the rest of this game, it's going to be very interesting to see how Pratt utilizes those other receivers that he's had. We've seen him, he's made use, but Walton's been his #1 target tonight. He's got a touchdown already. Very interesting to see how Buzz caters his game plan if Walton cannot come back to this game.
Another thing with Walton is he's not just, his skills aren't just in the air. He's great after the catch, too, and picking up extra yards.
Great. We talk about that speed. He can get out there. He's in open space. He can turn up the field. He's a great receiver. Once he gets the ball, he's in open space. He's a touchdown machine.
A thing with Walton, if he is out for the rest of the game, I would expect Darnell Jones for the Vikings, #7, to get a lot more looks here through the air.
We've seen it get him a couple looks off those little fake passes, Preston. You've seen it. I've seen it. It's paid dividend. It's paid off for Pratt. So now he's stepping up. He's their #1 target till Walton can make a return to the game, and that's if he can make a return to the game.
Another thing that's good, though, with Walton is he walked off the field under his own power. He does look like he is in pain, though.
It's going to be very interesting to see if he can come back and if this injury can affect him if he does come back. But nonetheless, we're moving on.
All right, let's see what the Vikings do here without Walton on offense for their first play. Pratt drops back. Under pressure. Breaks some tackles, and he is stopped at the line.
We saw those dual threat ability of Pratt. Didn't pay off there. Couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage.
That's with a young offensive line there. I mean, that's almost expected for the Vikings. You're going to be under pressure.
Still not. They've had some of the fine tunings. They've got to get a handle on this, or this could be a nightmare for Pratt. Looks like they're gonna go for the punt here. Not gonna go for it on 4th down.
This is the Vikings' first time punting with Spencer Leak out there to punt for the Vikings. The Viking. I mean, you don't see them punt too often. I mean, they're such a dominant force on offense, as we've been saying. Like, all the talk has been about how great their offense is.
Definitely, they're a very gutsy team. They've gone for it on several occasions early in this game on a 4th down here, and it's paid dividend, but not there.
Short return for Porter's #22, William Orban, who's pretty much gotten the ball a ton for them through on the ground, in the air, and on special teams.
He's been the lone man to keep this train going on offense for the Lockport Porters. It's going to be very interesting to see how Pfeiffer looks to continue to keep him involved. Looks like HF has figured him out a bit, starting to lock him down. Going to be interesting to see who Pfeiffer tries to target now.
It'll be interesting, too, to see if the Porters start turning out the run game. I mean, they are down, but they haven't really gone to the run game at all. Just 3 attempts throughout the game. But see if they turn up the run game here this drive. New look.
They've got all game to get that incorporated in, Preston. We will see here. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a run here.
I wouldn't either. Riley Pfeiffer in the drops back. Looks deep. And that is broken up by the Vikings. #8, Giles Walton, with great coverage there.
Definitely. We saw the deep ball of Pfeiffer in pregame. We saw it there. It has not been paying out so far. It has not been panning out for Pfeiffer. Second attempt downfield, nearly intercepted. Great defensive back coverage by the DBs back there. Walton back there breaks it up.
Another thing we said about Walton earlier is his ability to play on both sides of the field for the Vikings. He should have more of an impact now, too, with Miles Walton out.
Definitely. He's going to be very excited to see how they utilize him on the defensive side and the offensive side, like you said, with Walton being out right now.
The Vikings showing blitz. Pfeiffer. Hands off. Oh, and blown up in the backfield.
Blown up behind the line. Jesus.
#52, Justin Thomas for the Vikings with a tackle for loss. Blew up the running back.
They were waiting for him. They just had a sack lunch.
That's a huge play for the Vikings. And, I mean, Porter's team has got nothing on the ground.
Nothing. We talk about the defensive ability of the Homer Foster linebacking group. Great athletes. We just saw it there. Used their speed, got past the line, got back there to the quarterback, stuffed him.
Porter's lining up 4 wide. 3rd and 14. Pfeiffer takes snap. Looks for Keegan Robinson, and that's complete for the Porters.
Are they
So
going to
looks
get
like
the
he'll
first
be
down here?
at or just short of the first down.
They don't get it.
They
Wouldn't
do
be
not give the
surprised if
Porters
they
the
go
first
for it
down.
here, Preston. Would not be surprised if they decide to go for it. They've
see
got
what
nothing to lose here. Down 14-0. They've got to get something going.
It looks like that completion was good enough for a Porter for first down, so that'll go for 15 through the air.
We talk about deep ball ability of Pfeiffer. Saw it on display there. Got the pass completed. Keeps this offense on the field for another down.
Pfeiffer. Picked off! Jalen Walton to the crib. Pick 6. Vikings.
21-0 now. Homewood Flossmoor is dominating the Lockport Porters. You saw defensive back ran the play all the way. Followed the eyes of Pfeiffer. Came up. Wasn't paying attention. Got the ball. Took it to the house for a score.
And DB Giles Walton read that like a book.
Definitely. Again, you talk about the ability, just being able to find the ball in those situations. It's a real quick, boom, came up, jumped the route, took it all the way to the house. Nobody was there. You see what happens.
This has been complete dominance by the Vikings, offense and defense side of the ball.
Definitely, you talk about those stages of the game, offense and defense. They rely on each other. Defense goes out there and gets the stops. Offense goes and puts up the points. They've been both doing their job and doing it very exceptionally well.
Thing to point out is Buzz said in pregame how he wasn't sure how this team was going to play with a bunch of new faces, bunch of young guys. I mean, it looks like they haven't missed a beat, and looks like everyone's been here before.
Definitely, you talk about the ability. It's really been panning out for them. We see it with 21-0. Everybody's been doing their jobs in rows.
The extra point is up and good by Ethan Lindquist. And as you can see now, Giles Walton, I mean, no one even close to him on that play.
Definitely. You saw the ability. Boom. Those great ball skills, being able to grasp the ball, bring it into his chest, secure it, take it to the house.
Riley Pfeiffer saw it right away, too. Right when he got it and he saw there was open field, there was nobody in sight to stop him.
Pfeiffer has been struggling tonight. We're coming up on halftime. They've got to get these issues fixed, or like we said, we could be in store for a blowout, ladies and gentlemen.
We could be in store for a quarterback change for the Porters here soon.
Hey, I wouldn't be opposed to it. If I'm Lockport, I'm looking at them like this. We're down 21-0. Pfeiffer, he's trying to get the ball downfield. It hasn't been working. Homewood Flossmoor, they're blitzing. He's panicking. He doesn't know what to do. He's becoming discombobulated of sorts. So it's been struggling right now. 6:26 left to go in the half. Would not be surprised if we see a QB change here if Lockport can't get something going.
I mean, Lockport's only crossed the 50 once. They haven't really been able to get the ball out of their own territory at all.
Very shocked they have not went to the run game. Usually we see it. Quarterback struggle. All right, let's get the run game going. But they've been putting their trust in Pfeiffer. He looked great in pregame. I don't know why it's not transitioning to the game here. But, again, like you said, they've got to get it going. Or this could be a blowout.
Porter's got to somehow figure it out in offense. And Ethan Lindquist set to kick it off for the Vikings. And let's talk about quarterback Alex Pratt in his first start as a Viking. I mean, he's looked pretty good so far, I would say.
Definitely. Again, we talk about his dual threat ability, being able to roll out, complete the pass, fit it into those tight spaces. Definitely playing into his strength. They're catering the offense to him. It's been successful. You see 21 points on the board.
We haven't seen any runs by Pratt on the ground. We've just seen him roll out, but he's done a great job at it. And you're going to have to be mobile. Oh, the kick is muffed by the Porters. And it's recovered by the Porters on the 17.
Not great in start field position here. Not great start field position, but they're going to make do with it nonetheless.
Going back to quarterback Pratt for the Vikings, you got to be mobile with a brand new line. You just don't know the amount of pressure you're going to see as a quarterback.
You don't know those capabilities of that line, but they've been able to stick it out. 21 points on the board so far has been a success. Hopefully they can keep that going.
Vikings not showing blitz right now. They've been showing blitz all game on defense. Expecting a pass here from Riley Pfeiffer.
Riley, he's got to get it going. They're going to, as he goes for a run here. He's got to get it going, and they're going to that run here as we see. Got to start getting that run incorporated. Try to get this offense moving. Get some points on the board.
So Lockport run for about 4 to 5 yards there by William Odom. Again, main guy for Lockport. He's through the air and on the ground. He's been getting the ball.
He's been the sole guy on offense that has been doing something, generating offense, generating yards, going to look to keep him involved throughout this game.
Andrew Lepesti lined up in the backfield for the Porters.
But jet sweep action there.
Orban gets the ball, though, for the Porters, and he is forced out around the 20.
Great
23.
ability by the Homewood Flossmoor defensive backs. Isolate him, get him outside, stop the clock. Puts the ball in their court here.
3rd and 5 for the Porters with a loss of 1 on that play with the run by Orban. And I expect the Porters to go to the air right here.
Could be play action. They've got 3rd and 5 to work with. Book is open for anything. They've got 3 receivers out there all lined up to Pfeiffer's left-hand side.
Pfeiffer takes a snap, looks to Orban again, and he is short.
Blown up.
The Vikings defense all over number 22, Orban.
Right there, read it all the way. You saw that it was stop and go. Pfeiffer's eyes went right to him. Didn't have the ball in his hand for literally within a second. Boom, right there, stops the play.
And as we talked earlier in the game, for the Vikings, Stacy Tracy, another big name in that secondary, stepped up and made a big play there for the Vikings.
If we talk about the secondary, we talk about the number of guys they lost. They brought in a lot of younger defensive backs. We saw it pan out here as they made the stop that last play. Gets the offense back on the field.
Walton and Jones set back to receive the punt, and they're just going to let this one roll all the way to the Viking 44.
Solid starting field position for Pratt. Very excited to do. Bazia can now kind of open up the playbook here. 21-0. Nothing's off limits here, would you say, Preston?
No, and I would expect the Vikings to go through the ground here, chew some clock. You know, there's little under 5 minutes to go. I would expect them to stay on the ground here and see a lot of Sean Allen this drive.
Definitely. They've been kind of straying away from Sean Allen. You think that Lockport, that's who they've been game planning against week. The single-season rushing yard record holder, Sean Allen. They've been gearing towards him. Well, we've now seen the ability of Pratt. Now probably going to look to get Allen involved to get him some carries before half.
Another good thing for the Vikings, Miles Walton is out there for the Vikings as Pratt dumps it off to Giles Walton for a short game of about 6.
We saw the ability. Pratt, pressure was coming, was able to get the ball out, fit it into that tight window. Walton made the play, turned it upfield for some positive yardage.
That is good news for the Vikings, though, that Miles Walton is able to be back out there and on the field just one drive after we saw an injury.
Definitely. He's been the big playmaker. He's been Pratt's favorite target. We saw him get a touchdown earlier. Looking to get him back in the flow of things right now, coming off that injury.
Another thing I want to point out on that last play, that was great vision by Pratt to find Walton.
Another pass here by Pratt.
Overthrown to number 7, Giles Walton. That's just an experience from your quarterback there.
Definitely. That's an experience that you talk about. Being a first-year starter, he learned under Dominic Jones. That tutelage, we're seeing it here today. He's using his legs. He's staying calm when the pressure's coming, and he's executing.
That's been Pratt's first really bad throw all game. I mean, he's looked pretty sharp from here.
Looking at him in warm-ups, he was very confident, came in, saw his guys, let him know what we had to do, and they've been doing it all game, taking care of business throughout the first half here.
Vikings lining up 4 out, Allen in the backfield. Pratt hands off to Allen. Allen cuts back, cuts up, and he's going to be met at the line.
We talk about that upper body strength. He tried to drag the defender with him, take him upfield, just didn't pan out there. Don't want to forget about the running game if you're Bazia. Want him to still get Sean Allen a couple carries. Don't let him hang out there by himself all day.
4th and 5 for the Vikings. Looks like they're going to send the punt unit out. Spencer Lee coming on the field, and they're going to punt this one away.
Pretty surprising. They've gone for it on 4th down a couple times, but they have a cushion going in half. They're going to be up, looks like 21 zip if the defense can come out here and keep that momentum going.
I'm not surprised by this decision by Coach Buzz because, I mean, you're at midfield. You can pin the Porters back. The Porters they've gotten nothing on offense so far. So if you pin them back there, you hope for a turnover or just a short 3 and out.
Definitely. We'll definitely interested to see how the defense plays this. Again, we talk about that starting field position. They're going to be starting at about the 21, 22-yard line. So, back deep here. Interesting to see how Pfeiffer plays this. He's been having a terrible game so far.
Good punt by HF's punter Spencer Leak. Fair catch by William Orban at the Porters 21. Not great field position again for Lockport. Struggled to get field position, struggled to get the offense rolling. Wouldn't be surprised if a change comes soon.
I wouldn't go as far as to say a change, but Pfeiffer's got to get going. He's thrown an interception today. The offensive line is just looked shell-shocked by the sheer amount of blitz they've been seeing. They're tiring them out. That linebacking core, those front line, D-line, led by Justin Thomas, they're tiring out that offensive line, making it hard for them to protect Pfeiffer back there.
The Porters with a run, one of their few runs all game, and that'll be to Andrew Lepesti.
Again, shying away from that run game, you see what happens. HF read that. They sniffed it out like it was nothing. They were all over that. They've been all over this offense all night, and we've seen it. We've seen it right there. Able to isolate him, get him to where he wouldn't go out of bounds and stop the clock. It paid off right there.
The Porters, Lepesti cuts up for about a 4 or 5 yard game.
Defense again, right there, getting in the thick of it. Not afraid to get their hands in there, get them down to the ground, being very aggressive. They're throwing them down to the ground here.
Porter's going to hurry up, quick push, and it looks like they're going to have enough for the first down for the Porters.
Again, we talk about it. They've got to get something going. Looks like they're kind of getting something going here. Got 2:28 left to half here. Very, very interesting to see how they play this. They've got a lot of tools they can bring out here on the offensive side of the ball. So hopefully, let's see him pan out here.
One thing we missed is the Porters made a quarterback change to Hayden Porshek. I mean, that's early. It's kind of a surprising move by the Porters.
Not even out of the first half. You said it, Preston. You said they would look to go quarterback change. Hey, nothing's off limit here in this season. This is going to be the season of change here. Pfeiffer's out. Quarterback change.
Tomoshek, a huge body out there, 6'7", 232.
Got a lot of size. He is a massive man indeed. Going to be interesting to see if HF continues to blitz. He's going to be a hard guy to bring down.
Great stop there by the Vikings. Stopped at the line. Once again, Lepesti getting nothing done on the ground.
HF defense has been all over him tonight. That blitz has been working for the Homewood Flossmoor defense. You've seen it. They're getting past the line. They're just like the Flash, getting back there so fast, line doesn't know what hit them. Look up, 1 or 2 yards. That's all they're giving.
Defensive line for the Vikings, strong, led by Justin Thomas.
Definitely talk about that strength up front. You see these guys lifting in the weight room. They're lifting 150, 250. A lot of size, a lot of weight, pushing the D-line and pushing the O-line around, leads to confusion for quarterback.
Tomoshek looking for number 80, Kyle Yelling, and that'll be incomplete, and it'll be 4th and 8 for the Porters, and it looks like they're sending the punt unit out. Once again, another punt for the Porters.
Yelling was a big part of the first couple drives for Lockport. Has been really quiet since. Wonder why.
This whole Lockport offense has been pretty quiet. I mean, they punted every single drive so far.
Definitely. And just going back to the quarterback change, hopefully that can get this engine going. Maybe that's all they needed. We will see. We will see if the quarterback change was the right move here as we move throughout this game.
Nobody back there to receive for the Vikings. Looks like they're just going to let this one roll. This will be spotted around the Viking 34. Not bad field position for the Vikings for the final minute and 7 left.
Very interesting to see how Buzz plays this. Does he be the aggressive? He's been in this league 30 years. Does he be the aggressive? Does he look to get that touchdown on the board? Offense didn't get any points last drive. I would not let that deter them from what their goal is to get points every drive. Go out here, be aggressive. Get a ball to Sean Allen. Let him do his thing. Look to get some points on the board before going into the half.
One guy I think is key on this drive is Miles Walton. With him being back on the field, I wouldn't be surprised if Pratt looks deep for him.
Therefore, we saw the deep ball early in the first quarter. But did that lead to a touchdown? Again, Walton's got great speed, can take the top off a defense just like that.
And no, they're not going to play it aggressive. They're going to knee it out and send this game to halftime.
Definitely interesting decision here by Buzz, taking a couple knees. The guys deserve it. They've been coming out here, they're playing hard, just trying to get to the locker room a bit early, get some rest, go over the keys, look and see what they've been doing good so far, and it's been panning out. We talked about Pratt. We talked about it earlier in the pregame show. His ability, get out the pocket, use those legs, and it's been panning out here. So get those guys in the locker room, rest them up, get them out here for the second half, ready to go.
This is a smart decision by the Vikings. I mean, there's no sense to go for anything with 1:07 left. You got a 3-score lead going into halftime, feeling pretty good about it. Porters have struggled all first half. Vikings look strong, dominating both sides of the ball.
Very interesting to see what Lockport decides to do going into half here. They've been struggling all night long. Made a quarterback change, got a couple drives in, has not been panning out for him. Very interesting to see. Very interesting to see.
And looks like we're going to cut to sideline reporter Olivia Sawaki with interview with Coach Buzz.
We're here with HF's Coach Buzz. Coach Buzz, we're so happy to have you back. Welcome back. How are you feeling?
Well, I feel good, and I feel even better with the 21-point lead here, so thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, the lead is great, 21-0. What's the key to success for this quarter?
Well, our guys are surprised. They played real well. We thought, they come out and play hard, but their execution is pretty good. Defense obviously is playing lights out. Offense got on a nice start, but we bogged down a little bit, so we got to pick it up on offense. But so far, I'm real proud of the guys.
What are you going to do in the second half to keep this momentum going?
Well, hopefully a little bit more. I think offensively we got to continue to play the ball a little bit better. Hopefully Coach Wells gets his defense all prepped up and shut them out.
Thank you so much, Coach Buzz. Back to you guys.
Okay.
Well, we talk about that HF first half, definitely coming out 21 points. Offense has been prolific, Preston. We've seen Pratt going out there, rolling out, making those tough throws.
Another thing with the Viking offense, we're going to cut to a commercial here. When we come back, we'll talk about everything that happened in the first half. You're watching Viking Football on VTV.
Stop by Lockport and join us for all of our diverse and fun music events. Don't forget to mention you're an HF student to access special deals and discounts. Visit Melody USA. Join our
No matter what your goals are, Prairie State College has the program you need to start on the path to success. Find what fits at Prairie State College.
At SOAR High School Ministry, we want to show students the edge, pushing them over it, allowing them to soar in their calling. Join us Sunday nights at Living Springs Community Church to join the sounds of revival coming from a new generation.
Welcome to St. John the Evangelist, the Episcopal Church in Flossmoor and Homewood, located on the corner of Park Drive and Levitt Avenue in the heart of Flossmoor. St. John's is a community where all people are welcome to explore their faith.
The Viking Broadcast Company would like to thank its 2019-2020 gold sponsors: Soteria Construction, Portion Associates, Thanks Fusion Asian Harbor, Every Tooth Counts, Pop's Italian Beef of Homewood, and Art for Soul. Live Viking broadcasts would not be possible without the generous help of our gold sponsors.
Van Sitma Jewelers in Homewood has been family owned and trusted since 1900. They are 5th generation jewelers and do all of their jewelry and watch repair, appraisals, and custom designs on site at their Homewood location. Van Sitma Jewelers is your local jeweler, located in downtown Homewood at 2011 Ridge Road.
We are back from commercial break. Vikings and Kalel, with the Lockport quarterback struggles, Could they make another change coming out of half?
I don't see that happening. They got to stick with the 6'8" female who they got out there right now. Got to see what he's got because Pfeiffer was not it. Don't interception. Both of the quarterbacks are struggling here. Whoever they decide to go in out of half, they've got to get it going. They've got to sit down with that O-line and be like, look, I need you to hold your blocks because they've not been holding any blocks without any pressure getting back there. Quarterbacks are getting disoriented, doesn't know their surroundings, and just trying to dump the ball off.
Do you think there's any chance we see Pfeiffer again at all this game?
Hey, anything's
not
open.
saying injury.
Anything's open. All the cards are in play right now. If Coach believes that Pfeiffer can fix his struggles, get this offense going, hey, why not?
Another option for the Porters is they have junior quarterback Connor Holloway, who could also go out there for the Porters.
Definitely. Again, all cards on the table right now, Preston. I can't stress that enough. Whatever they need to do to get this offense going, they've been struggling. Down 21-0 here in the half. Whatever they can do, whether it's quarterback, whatever change they got to make, they've got to make it now if they want to win this game.
Another thing, too, is this isn't anything new for the Porters with them struggling on offense a year ago. I mean, they really didn't generate any offense a year ago and bury any out of the passing game, which they've been strong with tonight.
Definitely. I don't know what if I'm Lockport, I'm going into the locker room. I'm thinking, hey, look, they've been pugging us around. They've been handling us all game. They have, and that's got to stop. You've got to come out here with a different mindset. You got to put the first half behind you. You got to come out with a fresh, clear mindset. Just a whole half football left. Anything can happen. Go out there with that positive mindset. Get rid of all that negativity, and that can be just one of the ways they can get back in this ball game.
What do you think of with them splitting carries with running backs? Do you think they're going to focus on one running back here more this half, or do you think they're going to shy away from the run with them being down, as you know, 3 scores and being shut out? They got to start generating some points, get it through the air, and they also have to keep in mind the time, because if they start trying to go with the run game and burn time, well, before you know it, this game will be over. So
I'm all for abandoning the run right now. You're down 3 scores. Your number one goal is to get in the red zone. They haven't done that all game. That's their number one goal right now. So right now, put the run in the back pocket, get the passing game going. Whoever the quarterback's going to be, I really don't care at this point. They've got to get some offense going, or the HF is going to take full advantage of this. Credit to the HF defense.
With you saying the HF defense, Justin Thomas has looked fantastic for the Vikings on that line.
He's been a beast coming off that right side. He's been coming in, getting pressure, getting to the quarterback, causing other guys to get free, get sacks. He's been tearing it up all night on the D-line.
With that, I mean, Justin Thomas, and we've barely heard sophomore Chris McKinney's name at all.
Definitely. Look for him to get in the blitz. Look for him to be a lot more used coming into the second half. He's going to come out here. He's going to try and make himself a name out here coming in the second half. HF's got a comfortable lead. So, again, look for one of those sophomores they have on this roster. Get time. Guys like Chris McKinney, Justin Thomas, they're going to go out there. They're going to do their thing. They're going to take full advantage of this big lead. See what they have out there to offer.
As you know, number 8 for the Viking, Giles Walton with the huge pick 6. And, I mean, the whole secondary's played well. And their leader in the secondary, Kadari Kearns, has been quiet. They're not even going his way at all.
Hey, whoever's playing right now, whoever's embracing the moment, that has been Walton. He's been embracing the moment. He got the interception. You saw him on the sideline. He's happy. He's turned up. He's ready to go. He's been bombing out. He's been stopping the receivers. He's been shutting it down. He's been reading the quarterback's eyes all the way through this game. We saw him in the warm-ups. He was dominant, covering, shutting down the receivers, and it's played dividend. Saw it in this game here today.
I mean, this whole Viking defense is pumped up. They're playing on a different level. They're in it. And another thing, let's go back to the Porters run game. Like we've said, they have been splitting carries between Lepesti and Orban. The thing, though, is Orban, who's been getting more looks through the air out of the backfield, too, and he's pretty much been the show for the Porters. Do you expect that to change and they shy more to someone like a Kyle Yelling, or do you expect them to stay with him, stay going at him, and just hope it turns out?
Definitely. Try and go back to Yelling. He was a big factor in the first quarter. Has been absolutely quiet since. Got to get him open. Got him, get him back in his rhythm. He was Pfeiffer's #1 target, and when they had connections, it was panning out for the Porters offense. They had just a little bit of success going, but when they shut out Yelling, when they tried to go to the running game, HF shut it down completely.
Another thing with the Porters, too, is they have yet to target one tight end on offense. It's all been running backs out of the backfield or receiver, Kyle Yelling.
I mean, hey, we can look to see that in the second half here. Again, anything's open. This is an open book for this Porters offense, who have yet, I can't stress enough, they have yet to reach the red zone. They haven't even sniffed it. They have been struggling so far, so whatever you got to do, if you got to get a second stringer out there, get him out there. Whatever you have to do to get this offense going, do it. Nothing's off limits here.
Another thing is Keegan Robinson, he showed flashes of good route running and made a tough catch early on in the game, targeted early, and then slowly faded out of the play calling for the Porters. I would look for him to get involved in play calling and targets if they wanted somewhat of a chance to be in this game or win it.
Definitely. They got to be able to create separation. Robinson's got to be able to create separation from the receivers, get enough open space to make that catch, but then also get yards after the catch, get them down near down the end zone, but set them up to score because they need it at this point. Again, I keep saying this, nothing's off limits. Got to go in the second half with a mindset of I can do this. I've got to put the first half behind me, and I've got to move on.
This Porters offense, too, has been one-dimensional, and I mean, I would look for them, if they are going to start incorporating the run game, I'd look for some jets. They're going to probably start putting guys in motion, jet sweeps, start trying to confuse this Viking defense.
Whatever you got to do. We saw it work well on the HF side. You saw him with the little screen passes, the little fake off. It's been working well on HF side. Would not be surprised, like you said, if Lockport goes out and does the same. Again, anything's open. If you can trick the defense, get them thinking going this way, take it, flip it on Sear, take it to the house on the other side. Whatever you have to do to get this offense going, I'm all for it, man.
I want to talk about the Lockport special teams here for a little, too. Special teams has looked terrible. It's looked sloppy. Bad punts. One good one here or there. Muffed kickoffs, muffed punts by them. They just haven't looked too sharp. And, I mean, special teams show. You show on special teams how you're going to show on offense. If it's sloppy, it's most likely going to be sloppy on the offensive end, too.
They've been putting HF in great starting field position. They've been setting their team up. They're setting their defense up for failure if they continue to do this. Their average starting punt position is at the 45-yard line, right in the middle of the field, just about. Poor punts, setting up the defense for failure. They've got to eliminate that.
Yeah, I mean, HF really has not had one bad field position besides the opening kickoff. They've just dominated field position. They're dominating total offense. They're dominating everything.
You talk about it. Dominance. Buzz came into this matchup a little worried. Well, we can now assure those worries that put the rest. They've been dominating on all four phases. Special teams, offense, defense. Defense, you know, with that big interception. Offense starting off hot. Walden, the touchdown, starting off hot. Can't get any better than that. 3-score lead. Look for them to keep that dominance coming out of the half. Pratt, he's been now starting to see those legs in action, getting the ball out the pocket. Now expect to see Sean Allen going. I've been very shocked that Buzz has not been handing the ball to Sean Allen.
Yeah, I'm too. I thought Sean Allen would have a lot more just total offense or a lot more opportunities. I mean, that's a good sign for the Vikings, though, when you're not having to heavily rely on your star, Sean Allen, and you're able to move the ball around, and you're still looking pretty good on offense. You're not one-dimensional with one player.
Definitely. You talk about being one-dimensional. That's something you don't want to see in a football game, and we haven't. We've been seeing Pratt get the ball downfield, utilize that arm strength of his. We saw it. That connection he's been having with Walden has been paying off. And when Allen has gotten the ball, he's made the few runs that he's had very worthy, getting the positive yards. And that's all you can ask for out of Allen.
As you know, we just talked about the Porter special teams. I want to talk about the Viking special teams. And their special teams has looked, at times when they've needed it, has looked really, really well. I mean, when punter Spencer Leak had to come on the field, 2 great punts. I mean, nothing more that you can ask for. When you're called on, get the job done. That's all a coach needs and will ask for. Nothing more.
Definitely pin them back near their own end zone. We saw it early on, which set up the defense for success. Now they're backed up. Their plays are now limited to what they can do. Get the defense going. Sit the blitz. And you sent the blitz. You see it's been causing this combination all over.
Another thing, too, is when the Vikings are set to receive a punt from the Porters, I mean, they've had their two lined up in the backfield with Darnell Jones and Giles Walton, but they haven't returned anything because punts haven't been too good, or the Vikings are just letting it roll. But even when they let it roll, they're still getting good field position, like we just talked about, how they've been dominating that the whole game.
Definitely. I mean, Lockport's got several things they got to fix.
We got sideline reporter Olivia Sawaki with Lockport's coach here.
I'd rather be here right now than at home.
Yes, we're so excited to have our team out here today. We're glad to have you guys. What's your key to success for this next half?
Well, we got to make sure that we can catch the ball, catch it, and we can. But everything else, I'm happy with the way we're lining up and execute the way we typically have executed in practice.
Well, we're really sorry there with the technical difficulties with the mics not working, but thank you, Coach, for your time. And, I mean, let's go back to it. I mean, let's talk about this Viking offense now. We talked about Sean Allen. Pratt, in his very first game starting, has looked phenomenal, in my opinion.
First game, you would think he's been a 4-year starter. You would think the way he's been playing, he's been doing this the last 4 years, but he's only his first year starting. You've seen him come out there. He's made the tough throws. He stayed composed. He hasn't lost it. He hasn't lost his touch yet this game. Very excited to see what he comes out the second half. Look for him to keep that connection with Miles Walton going.
That's another thing, though. Pratt, being behind Dominique Jones for years, I mean, it's not like he's new to this system and he's like a transfer. He knows the system. He knows what he's doing. It's just a matter of getting out there and doing it now. And he's shown he can get out there, get after it, and do it.
He's a very good example of what the Chiefs did with Patrick Mahomes. They had him sit behind their quarterback, learn the offense. That's what they did with Pratt. Have him sit behind Dominique Jones, learn the offense, learn what works and what you don't like. Now you've seen that come to fruition here. He's like, oh, I remember this from a couple years ago. Oh, I know this. I know that this is going to happen. The receiver's going to do this, this, this. That's the joy of having a guy like Pratt. He loves the books. He loves to sit down and watch film. He loves to constantly get better, and we've seen that now. And we're going to see what Pratt can do coming into the second half.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, take a breather here, cut to a commercial. You're watching Viking Football on VTV.
To understand that they can do anything they want to do. For something I know I'm gonna see.
Accelerating too fast would cause his brain to smash into the side of his skull, while stopping too fast would cause it to smash into the other side, causing a concussion so massive he'd be lucky to survive.
Have not wasted any time since then and have gone back to work as they step around the community.
Do you know what you just watched? That was a montage of videos created by students at Homewood Flossmoor's television department called Viking Broadcast Company, or the VBC. These are all productions that you too can be making, and it simply can be done by taking the broadcasting class. We want to show you all the cool things that you can be a part of as you begin to choose your classes next year, and they all revolve around television and radio at the VBC.
This day and age, everything is video. You watch it all the time, but now you can create it. Broadcasting gives you the opportunity to be on a staff that creates a daily 10-minute show the entire school watches. The show includes announcements, feature stories, sports highlights, game shows, commercials, and even music videos, all created by the student staff. And get this, you get to create it using state-of-the-art equipment in the recently renovated VBC studios. The best cameras, the best computer editing suites, and the creative flexibility that allows your imagination to come to life.
We have the best TV studio around, no doubt. But on top of that, we have a TV truck that allows us to broadcast sports and events away from the studio. You won't find too many high schools doing what we do. Students produce live events such as football games, basketball games, and plays and presentations. We run the cameras, do the announcing, and all the behind-the-scenes technical stuff to make the events viewable by the public. It's an amazing opportunity for students to get a real-world experience, and it can happen as a freshman in your first year.
Part of broadcasting includes work on a radio station on WHFH 88.5 FM. Yep, it's a real radio station. In fact, it's the most powerful high school station in the country. Students work as DJs or talent and conduct different themed shows throughout the day. You play your favorite music, talk sports, conduct interviews, you name it. If it's done on the radio, we're doing it here at HF.
We've had some pretty big names come through the VBC. Lots of these alumni are seen on TV or heard on the radio in the Chicagoland area. They, along with VBC alumni in all kinds of careers, credit taking this class as the single most important class they ever took at HF. Don't believe me? Listen for yourself.
The broadcast program is so hands-on. Like the first day, the first week, you jump in and you're using cameras and you're interviewing people, and then you're editing soon after.
My experiences in high school have opened up so many doors for me in college. I've been able to join a production group that produces sports games for ESPN.
I'll be getting my master's in journalism in May. I'm applying at TV stations to be a television news reporter. I anchor and report the news at Ball State. I've won state awards for election coverage, anchoring, and news stories. And why? It all started with Viking Broadcasting. That class changed my life.
And so my job security was nice, and I was able to do what I enjoyed doing for a living and get paid for it because I had such a good head start at HF with the broadcast program.
Broadcasting taught me so much more than how to film and how to edit. It taught me how to be a better writer, how to be more confident, and how to communicate well with others. All three of those things are super important no matter what you plan to do in the future.
And even if you don't want to go into media, it changes and teaches life skills you'll need for any career. Being a team player, meeting deadlines, punctual, professionalism, and communication skills. It all matters.
You know, I wouldn't be where I am today at all if I didn't take that class at HF, because that class gave me not only the skills, but the confidence to pursue what I wanted to do for a living, what I'm currently doing for a living, and ultimately my dreams.
Assignments never felt like homework because I enjoyed doing them. My favorite part about the class would have to be how much freedom you get while making projects. You get to produce content that interests you, whether that has to do with sports, news stories, or creating music videos.
There's no other class like this class at HF.
In high school, broadcasting was my favorite class by far.
Very few high schools in the country, frankly, have this kind of program.
Either way, this class could change your life like it changed mine. So take a chance, pick up a pen, and sign up for the class. I promise you won't regret it.
So it's simple. If you want to be part of a program that gets seen, if you want to be part of a program that makes a difference, then look no further. You can start your road to being a part of the VBC family by signing up for broadcasting. It's in the fine arts portion of your schedule, and it's the first step to becoming part of something more than just a class. The Viking Broadcast Company wants you to sign up today.
Welcome back, Viking fans. Well, I mean, Vikings are about to take the field for the second half here. One thing that's been strong, which we didn't know how it was going to turn out, was the offensive line for the Vikings has struggled at the start, but I mean, they turned it around second quarter, late first quarter.
Definitely. You saw Pratt was kind of struggling to move around back there. First couple drives, going into the second quarter, got everything straightened out. It's led to success, up 21-0. The O-line we knew was going to play a big factor, has really turned it around. Look for them to keep that success up in the second half, and watch for how they hold that that Lockport D-line in check.
The key for that offensive line for the Vikings is tackles. If those tackles can stay strong, the rest of the line should be good. And I mean, should be an easy win from here on out for the Vikings.
Definitely. They just stick to the game plan. They can trust those tackles. They can just, again, stick to their game plan, continue to do what's work best for them. That's passing. That's faking out this Lockport defense, and that's generating some offense, some points. They can stay true to that, and the defense can hold their end of the bargain. We should be looking at an HF victory tonight for the first one of the year.
One thing that's interesting from the Porters that we saw during halftime was that quarterback Riley Pfeiffer did not throw a ball at all during halftime, but the two juniors, Connor Halloway and Hayden, they were out there the whole time throwing. So, I mean, I would be shocked if we saw Riley Pfeiffer again in this game.
Definitely. He has struggled all night long. He just can't seem to get his surroundings, his bearings at all this game. We're going to see what he looks to do.
Yep, the Vikings set to kick off here to the Porters. And, I mean, I have a feeling Hayden Tomoshik will be the starter for the second half for the Porters. But, I mean, hey, who knows? I mean, he finished first strong. Not strong, but he finished first. I mean, just never know.
Anything can happen here. We will see what Lockport decides to do. If HF defense, they're going to come out. They've got a nice break. They've gotten a breather now. Going to be very interesting to see, do they hang back a bit? Do they stop the blitz to drop more back in coverage?
And the Vikings kick it off, and that'll be a nice return for the Porters. I mean, that's the best offense we've seen all day for them, and it hasn't even come on special teams.
And that's ironic because the special teams have been struggling. It's going to be very important for Lockport to kind of turn it around. Time is not on their side here in the rest of this game. It's not. They have very little time here, and looks like there is a quarterback change.
And it looks like they're going to stick with quarterback Hayden Tomoshek for the second half at start.
The 6'7" phenom.
Ironically, the one on that return was William Orban, who has been if only, the only offense for the Porters this whole game. And that would be complete to number 80, Yeller, for first down. I mean, once again, one of the only guys through the air they've gone through.
Definitely. It's been really a two-man show, that being Yellen and Orbit. It's been a two-man show here, and going to look to get some more guys involved because, again, time is not on their side. They've got to pick up the pace here. Let's see what they do coming out of the half.
The Vikings showing a little blitz. See what they do. Tomoshek drops back, under pressure, heavy, and he breaks a couple tackles, and he'll be brought down in the backfield for a Viking sack.
Sack once right there, but that's that size. They had a hard time getting it down. He's 6'7". He's a big man. Hard to get down. We saw it there, but nonetheless, they got him down. The ball came loose a little bit. Look for them to try to strip the ball if they can't get him down.
Number 33, Donovan Caesar for the Vikings with the sack there. It's his first sack of the game. I mean, the Viking defense was all over Tomoshek on that play.
I mean, the offensive line just didn't know what to do. They kind of just stopped blocking, got a point, and quarterback had to fend for his life back there.
2nd and 11. He drops back. He looks deep, and it's going to be incomplete. And there's a flag on the play, and it looks like this will be pass interference against the Vikings.
Great play there by Lockport, trying to get down the red zone. This will be their first red zone trip of the night. Very interesting to see what they do. Saw the long ball there. They got enough space where they could potentially incorporate the long ball again.
I mean, Stacey Terry there with the push from the back. I mean, that's clear, obvious pass interference by the Vikings. I mean, we're going to take another look at it on replay here, and you see Tomoshek lets it fly.
You see, just a little
push
tap
in the back. Little tap, but I mean, that's enough to draw a flag there.
Definitely. And referees have not seen a lot of flags in this game, so referees are letting a lot slide this game.
We saw a couple flags early, but from there on out, it's been pretty fast-paced. Not many flags this game. Clean game.
Definitely. I thought that played a big factor. It has not. Let's see if that prevails throughout the rest of this game.
And the Porters going to the ground here for about a pickup of 4.
The Porters haven't ran the ball 10 times yet. Very interesting to see if they can incorporate this running game. Just did it there. Not the biggest game. 3 yards on the play. We'll see if they stick with it.
That was running back number 21, Andrew Lepesti, who has been splitting carries for the Porters. but they go with that dual threat in the backfield.
Having a fresh running back is key if they want to get the running back game going.
Tomoshek drops back under pressure, hit, and overthrown.
Didn't have a chance for sailing out of bounds. Couldn't complete the pass going through. Got hit right as the ball was released.
Donovan Caesar, come out great in the second half. Sack, bunch of quarterback pressures, quarterback hit there, force an overthrow. Donovan Caesar's looked fantastic so far.
Definitely. You talk about Caesar, you talk about just his ability, coming out fast, not letting the O-line punk him around, getting out there, getting to the quarterback. He's been frustrating this quarterback early.
Tomoshek drops back, looks for the end zone, and that's going to be overthrown. Tomoshek is not shy of letting it fly right here to start out the second half.
Like Mitch Trubisky, overthrowing him. He was wide open. That was a touchdown.
That was a clear touchdown. If that throws a little bit, that's not. It doesn't have to be perfect, but if that throws a little bit shorter, we're looking like a touchdown. Replay, you see here,
it was enough space.
Tomoshek just overshot him.
Can't have that. You're down 3 scores. They're about to squander this red zone opportunity here. 4th down, they're going for it. Let's see what they do.
That ball is 5 feet over his receiver too. Tomoshek drops back under pressure, and he will be taken down by the Vikings. Baby. Justin Thomas
again has been a pest, a little fly. He's been bothering the quarterbacks all night long, using that great speed and athleticism, that agility, getting past the O-line just like that. When you look up, he's gone and already towards the quarterback.
Justin Thomas and Donovan Caesar have been all over the quarterback throughout this whole game. Caesar's coming more in the second half, but those two have been a force to be reckoned with on the line for the Vikings.
If those two keep balling out, I hate to say it, we could be looking at a shutout here, Preston.
Justin Thomas already with 2 sacks in this game. I wouldn't be surprised to see more.
Hey, anything is open here. The Vikings have a nice, comfortable cushion as the offense takes the field for the first time this half.
Pratt with the handoff to Allen, and he'll be stuffed. Lost for about 6 yards, and Allen stood no chance there. Looking at 3 Lockport defenders, line just didn't hold their block, and we said how the line did good at the end of the second quarter, but
coming out bad here.
Not looking too sharp right there.
Allen involved. We talked about getting Allen involved. They're doing that first play of the second half here for the offense. Didn't pan out, but that does not mean to shy away from it. You've got enough room in this league. You've got a nice, comfortable cushion where you can kind of have a couple of squander drives here and there.
If that's the trend for this Viking offense for the second half, this game will be a lot closer than we thought.
Another run here.
Once again, handoff to Sean Allen.
That upper body strength, I keep coming back to it.
That run's good for about 5 yards there by Allen. Good job of fighting through. Like you said, with the upper body strength. Doesn't make that happen without his upper body. Didn't get really blocked there, and he just fought for it.
Definitely, if he was a lot more small, he would have definitely been taken down without that big gain right there. Get him involved.
Sean Allen just showing his physicality, and his physiques are insane. You mentioned earlier the speed, the strength. He's showing it, and he's not getting the best blocks, but he's fighting, and he's still putting up numbers with, bad O-line play. Allen, once again, with the keeper, and he's going to be taken down.
Looks like we may have jinxed it, Preston. The O-line's coming out pretty sloppy here. Nowhere for Allen to run so far. Look for them to get a hold on that right away, or Bazia's gonna look to make some changes.
This Vikings offense with a 3 and out, and
only second 3 and out of the game. Don't get discouraged here. You've got a 21-point lead. Calm down, get your bearings, go back out there again.
Sorry, sir. With the way the defense has been playing, with the pick six closer, towards the end of the second quarter, and with the way Caesar and Justin Thomas have playing. Shouldn't be a surprise if anything happens here on defense. Spencer Leak with the punt. Fair catch by the Porters on the 31.
Relatively good starting field position for the Porters. Right now, just a little bit behind the halfway point of the field. Look for them to take advantage of probably their best field opportunity of the night.
And yes, number 22, William Orban, was the one to receive that punt.
He's been the sole threat on offense. He's been carrying them so far, hasn't amounted to success. We will see if they look to get some other receivers involved here.
Tomoshek takes field for the Porters. They're lining up for They're lining up 5 on the left. Looks for a screen to Orban. Looks to cut off field, and he's going to be taken down behind the line. That Viking defense swarming all over their guy, number 22, William
What did
Orban.
I tell you going into the half? What did I tell you? The Lockport is going to do what they saw HF do. It has not panned out. HF said they had the same mindset I was thinking. They went out there, they stopped this screen passing game. It has amounted to nothing for the Lockport Porters offense so far coming out of the second half.
If I'm the Vikings, I sit here and I put all my focus on William Orban and make them beat me with someone else. I mean, you see, they haven't gone to anyone else besides Lepesti and Yelling a couple times, but I wouldn't make them beat me with someone besides Orban.
They've tried to take those shots down the field with those guys. It has not been working. They've got to get the running game and go. But I like the idea that they're rotating the running backs in now, but it's just hasn't panned out. If I'm Lockport, anything and everything is open right now. If you're sitting on the bench and I think you can get us, if you can help us out, I'm sending you out there. Anything is open right now.
Once again, Lockport yet to target tight end Quinn Kelly. I mean, if you want to get some size and physicality, I mean, just get anything going through offense. You might think they want to go switch it up from receiver to tight end, get possession catches. I mean, just haven't yet.
I mean, talk about it. They have yet to get targeted tight end. They clearly are covered well, so I really don't know what they can do from here. They are being shut down in all 4 phases of the game, and time is not on their side as we're approaching the 8-minute mark here in the third quarter.
HF showing blitz, and that is complete to former quarterback Riley Pfeiffer.
Trick plays. Do what you got to do. I've said anything and everything was on the table. Pfeiffer wasn't doing it in the passing game. Was like, let's get him out there as a receiver, see what he can do. Pretty positive yardage, can we say?
I mean, hey, you got to do what you got to do. And Vikings showing blitz again, drop back. And that's going to be complete for the Porters to number 4, Keegan Robinson. Who, I mean, we said at halftime, look for Keegan Robinson to make an impact because they targeted him early, fell out of the play call, and there he is once again.
Beautiful throw. Nice and high to where only Robinson can get it. And the Homer Flossmoor defensive back had no idea where the ball was. Turned around, caught first down.
The Porters with a nice little drive here on offense. I mean, Tomoshek, I mean, it's clearly gotten more done than Riley Pfeiffer has in an entire half in this quarter. Tomoshek drops back, under pressure, looks to run. He's going to keep it. That's good for about 4 or 5 for the Porters.
We saw it. Tomoshek coming in, running the football. Again, whatever you got to do to get this offense going. As long as they can get near that goal line, I don't care if it's a field goal. They need points on the board, or we could kiss this game goodbye by the end of the third.
HF, their DB's looking like they're going to press here, expecting the pass from the Porters. Tomoshek drops back.
Look at that.
Under pressure. He getting pleased to Lepesti. Lepesti cuts upfield. Lepesti breaks the tackle. Lepesti to the 5, and he's brought down.
First red zone trip of the day, finally.
I mean, like we said, Lockport's going to run. They're going to keep switching out those running backs, Lepesti and Orban, and I mean, look, they're fresh. They're fresh.
A bit of a hurry-up offense now. They're trying to get HF off their guard.
Push and no. That is good for little to no yards.
We saw they called HF off guard. They tried to get him off their guard there. HF said none of that. But great series of plays, those last 2 to 3 plays. Getting them where they are right now. Now it's all on how they play this field position they have right now. They're in a great position to put some points on the board.
That play went for a gain of 2. 2nd and 4 on the goal. So 2nd and goal, 4 to go. Handoff, Lepesti. And he's going to be good for about 1.
We saw giving it to Lepesti. He's been active all drive. Out of the backfield, receiving, and now on the ground game. But 3rd and goal here. You got to say if they don't get it here, they go for it, Preston.
Kind of surprising seeing Lepesti getting more of the touches than Orban, I mean, this second half. Orban got it all the first and come out with Lepesti on the ground and looked pretty well.
I mean, hey, whatever you got to do to get some points on the board. Whatever it takes.
The Porters in shotgun, and there's a flag on the play.
My guess is the false start.
False start on the offense.
And that's going to bag him up. But still, hey, don't let this discourage you. Go out there, stay true to your game plan, put points on the board.
I know the Porters need points on the board. It's a 3-score game. But even if a field goal is not an option here, this is the best drive you've had all game. A field goal is not an option for the Porters. You have to get a touchdown if you. It is early, but I feel like you got to get a touchdown if you want to stay in this game.
Hey, we will see what they go here. Tight formation. 8th timeout is called.
No.
No timeout. The ref blew his whistle.
The Porters line up Tomoshek. Lepesti in the backfield. Handoff Lepesti. And he is stood up. Stood up at the 1.
4th and goal. Go for it. I'm putting all the poker chips in the middle of the table. Go for it right now if you're Lockport. If you do not go for it, we're going to look back at this game and say they should have went for it.
4th and goal, 1 to go. Goal line stand. This is what you practice. You practice these goal line stands, 1 to go. I feel like the Porters got something drawn up here. I feel that they feel pretty confident about it.
But time is not on their side. They could have all the confidence in the world. Right now, looking at the clock from the booth, 5:10 left to go. Time is not on their side right now, Preston.
Not at all. I mean, they've taken up a good chunk of time this drive.
I mean, it kind of works in their favor. They're giving that defense a chance to catch their breath, who's gotten their heads spinned around on them by this HF offense.
Sticking with that one thing, though, I would expect this HF offense to come out with a different look than they did last drive. They're going to come out hungry. They're going to come up looking to put points on the board. They're going to be after it.
Very sloppy and crappy play from HF coming out of the half. Look for Coach Budge to fix that right away. Get them back in the rhythm they were just a few drives ago going into the half. Let them get back to their old selves, put points on the board, put this game to rest.
I would look, when the Vikings come back on offense, I would look for it, depending if they're on the 1, I would say Sean Allen. But if the Porters score here and the Vikings get the ball again, I would look for Miles Walton deep. That's where my money would be.
But we're interested to see what Lockport drives up out of the timeout here. Would not be surprised if they go in a wildcat formation and have the quarterback keep it here.
Porters coming back on the field. I'd imagine they'd have 2 running backs in the backfield now.
Hey, get all the sides you can get out there and get. My money is on the quarterback keeping it. Quarterback sneak. Do what you got to do.
I agree. I mean, I would line him up under center. He's 6'7". He's the biggest man out there on both sides. I would line him up under center. I'd run a little quarterback sneak with him, but it's not what it's looking like.
It's
looking like a run though. Tomoshek with Lepesti in the backfield.
He's
going to the air and yelling in the back of the end zone.
Back of the end zone.
One guy we have said all game for the Porters who is targeted through the air. Kyle Yelling with the touchdown for the Porters.
And it's paid off. Patience was key with this team. They stayed. They fought through adversity. They've got a long way to go, though. Not even halfway up the hill. But nonetheless, they got points on the board.
Like we said, we expected Kyle Yelling, Keegan Robertson to have, and William Orban to have big second halves through the air because Lockport had to get it done.
I mean, hey, very surprised they're not going for it here. They're going to go ahead
running with
the field goal.
They're going with a little lined up in a little trick formation, but they're going to go with the extra point here. The kick is up, and it is good. Gabriel Sazako with the extra point.
Hey, now half of that battle's done. Now, look, now we're only down by 2 scores. But now the defense has got to come out, and they've got to hold Alex Pratt and Miles Walton in check, or else they're going to run circles around them the rest of the night.
I will credit that Porter's offensive line. You did not hear Justin Thomas's name at all once they got close to the red zone. We got a report from sideline reporter Olivia Sawaki.
We're at 5 minutes until the end of the third quarter. Vikings up 21-7. Porters just scored. I talked to Coach Chart from Lockport, and he says he's hoping that his team starts making the plays when they really need it. He was hoping for a little bit more tonight, but he's just happy to be out here. Thank you. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Olivia. And, I agree. Lockport, they looked really sharp on that drive.
Definitely. What he said, just making a play they had to make. They made the plays. You talk about Yelling, making that tough catch in the back of the end zone, getting free. He was double covered, but they were able to get free, scoring that drive. Now they got to keep that going if they want to win this ball game.
The Vikings with 3 set back deep to return this kick. Vikings up to the 25. Fumble! Ball is out! The ball is out. Who will come away with this at the bottom of the pile?
Referees are running over there.
That was Giles Walton with the fumble there for the Vikings.
Poor ball control, getting a bit too cocky with it. I'm sorry, he's trying to get one-handed with it. You cannot do that. They're going to squander this lead. They cannot become cocky. They got to stay true to themselves, stay with the design plays Coach Buzz has for them so they can keep this.
It's looking like this
going.
ball is going to go to the Porters.
Great.
We're
If
waiting
it
for the
is
call on
the
the field.
Porters'
And
ball-
no, it is the Vikings ball.
Oh, I was just about to say, if that's the starting field position for the Porters, look for them to put some more
That could have
points
been
on the board.
That could have been. We could be in a whole new ball game if the Porters recovered that ball. Great field position, 30 to go for them. All of a sudden they score. It's a one-score game. Vikings are fortunate to get that
Vikings
ball
got
back.
very, very lucky on that. You cannot have this cockiness. You can't be playing with the ball, having it out. The dudes came up and swatted it out of his hand. Let's see what Pratt and Walton have up their sleeves for this upcoming drive.
Like we said, special team shows what you're going to bring on offense. I mean, that was pretty solid. Hopefully that's not the case here for the Vikings. Pratt in shotgun. Play action, and that's going to be complete for a short game. Ball is on the ground.
No, don't
It looks like it's
fumble.
recovered by the Porters. They're calling incomplete.
Very two back-to-back plays that could have flipped this ball game on its ear in a heartbeat.
The Vikings are looking very sloppy. They got to turn things around right here.
They've got to. Coach Bazia is probably fuming right now. If this happens a third straight play, look for something to change. Ball security is the number one thing they preach.
Ball security has to be priority for them at this point.
Right now, you have this big lead. I understand they just scored. You're in a bit of a panic mode. Stay true to yourself. Stay with what was working with that first half, and you can lock this game up.
I'd look for Sean Allen right here. I mean, we know he's reliable. We know his ball security. I'd look for Sean Allen here. No, play action. Look. That is Miles Walton for the Viking. First down.
The leading receiver so far. He's got a touchdown. He's been balling out so far. Lockport has no answer for him.
Vikings are fortunate Walton was able to come back from the injury earlier in the game because, like you said, he's been balling out all game. Pratt's favorite target.
Great separation that you see on the replay. Able to separate himself, get in the field of space where he can get that ball and get the yards after catch. That's been his bread and butter throughout this game.
Yeah, I mean, like we said earlier, Walton's ability to make stuff happen after the catch, too. Wouldn't be surprised if he breaks out for something here later this game. Pratt in shotgun position. Vikings line 3 out wide. Pratt looking to throw, and that's going to be a gain about 3. Nice little short little throw to Miles Walton again. Favorite target. They're staying with their bread and butter. The short dump off screens, or go back and pound it with the rock. I mean, they're going to wear this Lockport Porters defense out with the short game. They're going to chew clock. That's
what they've been doing so far. Chewing the clock. That's what you got to do. You got this lead. Chew clock. Make sure you don't go out of bounds. Just short little dumps
give that defense some rest. That's the goal for the Vikings here right now. Chew clock, give that defense some rest. Lining up with 4 split out. Allen in the backfield for the Vikings. Hand off Allen. Allen cuts up to the 40. Good run from Sean Allen. I mean, we haven't seen that all night from him. That's the biggest run of the night.
We wanted him to get involved. He's gotten involved right there. He has not been the big play that he was last year.
Replay is going, as you can see. Allen breaks through.
O-line played a big factor in that. You saw just the sheer amount of strength. They're forcing the Lockport defenders back, creating all that separation in space for Allen to get that big play.
That is 18 for Allen on the ground there. I mean, that's the biggest run of the day. And if he starts heating up in this second half, this is going to be a long rest of the game for the Porters. Vikings splitting 3 out. Allen with the handoff. Looks like he's just short of the first down.
Getting Allen going. This is the end zone, bread and butter. This is where he makes his money, ladies and gentlemen. That right there, if they can continue, if the O-line can continue to get those holes, create separation in space for Allen like they did in his previous play, as we see right on the screen, it's going to result in more points on the board for HF.
Sean Allen, I mean, with very physical running here. One thing, too, is you see not all running backs are straight, like, hot start running. Like, you see, like, obviously one guy in the NFL, Derrick Henry, you see, he never starts out hot, but, like, when the second half comes around, those guys get it rolling. Sean Allen's getting it rolling now in the second half as we go along.
Definitely. The O-line is fixed up. That's why we saw for the first 2 drives of this half. Really starting to come together as one unit as they stray away from Allen here back to Walton.
No, that will go to Darnell Jones for the Vikings.
Excuse me.
For a Viking first down.
Great play right there. Able to get separation, get out of bounds. That does, unfortunately, set him up, set Lockport up. This could get ugly right here. Lockport's got to get their handle on things, or this could be some more points on the board for the Homewood Flossmoor offense.
I expect this ball here to go to Sean Allen right here. No. Look, under pressure. Darnell Jones walks in for a touchdown.
Great
17-yard touchdown for the Vikings. Great vision by Pratt there.
Great vision, but got to give it to the block in the front. They created that space for Jones. He got the touchdown right there. It was all depending on the blocking up front. They did their job right there. More points on the board for the Home Flossmoor offense, putting this game out of reach.
Under pressure, Pratt doesn't hesitate. Looks like he's a veteran at this. Just dumps off to Darnell Jones.
Now if it goes back to that sit, mastering that offense, figuring out what works. He knew what the defense was doing. He stayed composed, stayed to himself, didn't panic, knew who his number one target was. Jones got the touchdown.
Ethan Lindquist up for the extra point, and that's going to be a jump by the Porters. Could we potentially see the Vikings going for 2 here now with the better field position?
That Lockport defense is becoming anxious. Hey, why not? Everything's open.
Oh, no, that's going to be a false start on the offense for the Vikings. That will back them up here. We'll take a quick look at that last touchdown scored by Darnell Jones. As you can see.
We look at it. That space I talk about. He had all that room to run. Got the ball. Got the yards after the catch. Led to a touchdown. Great vision there by Pratt. Looks like a 4-year start out there. But this is only his first year out there.
And the penalty does not phase Ethan Lindquist. The extra point is up and good. Vikings 28. Porters 7, the minute 51 left. I mean, like you were saying with one thing that's going to be big for the Vikings, and it has been big all game, is the yak yards, the yards after catch. I mean, that's how they're getting it done in the passing game. You're seeing it with Miles Walton, Darnell Jones there on that last play.
When these receivers get open in space, they turn up. They've got a lot of fit to work with. They have great speed. You see that today. You see that with receivers like Jones and Walton. They get into space. They're just totally different animals with results in touchdowns for both receivers today. Those have been Pratt's 2 favorite targets. They've been very, very, very good for him. They've been very reliable, and look for him to continue to go to him for the rest of this game.
I would expect this Vikings defense to come out hungry after giving up a touchdown to the Porters, who have struggled to get anything going through the air and on the ground and just all in offense all game. I expect this Vikings defense to come out hungry. I would look at number 52, Justin Thomas, this drive. Expect him to be all over the quarterback here.
Definitely Thomas and Cesar. They've been wreaking havoc on the quarterback. They've made a change. It still has not been working. They've gotten to him. 2 sacks since the start of the second half. Look to see a lot more of that here coming up in the 4th.
Ethan Lindquist set to kick for the Vikings. I mean, let's go back to the defense. Like you've said, Justin Thomas. Donovan Caesar, who's had a great second half at the start, and then everyone was slow this second drive, and that is a bad duck snort kick for the Vikings by Ethan Lindquist. And the Porters are going to have the ball around their 36, 37-yard line.
I would not let, if I'm the Vikings defense, I would not let the defense phase this.
And
we
have a report with our principal, with our sideline reporter, Olivia Sawaki.
1st and 10 for the Porters.
I'm here with Principal Dr. Anderson. Dr. Anderson, thank you for being here. It's feeling a little bit more normal tonight. We have a student section out there. What led to this decision?
You know, it's just not football without the student section. So we had to find a way to get some students in here to cheer on our team.
Exactly. And I love the energy here tonight. Getting off the topic of sports, how's the 50% hybrid school going?
It's going really well. It looks so great to have so many students in the hall. It just feels more like normal, like you were saying, you know.
What are you hoping for the remainder of the semester?
So we're hoping we can even get bigger, but you know, we're just trying out all the metrics and trying out all the different permutations to see if we can get everybody back in. So looking forward to the next stage.
I'm definitely excited for that too. Thank you so much, Dr. Anderson, and back to you guys.
Thank you, Olivia. And as you guys just missed on the last play, the Vikings all over Tomoshek on that last play.
The offensive line has been struggling to protect Tomoshek. He's been experiencing a lot of just disorientation, blitzing all night long for the linebackers from HF. It's been panning out so far. Don't look for them to stray away for it as they go into the 4th here with a 28-7 lead.
That'll be a timeout by the Vikings. And That'll give us a chance to take a time out as well and cut to a commercial. You're watching Viking Football on VTV.
Lockport Animal Hospital is a full service dedicated to providing the finest professional veterinary health care for your pet. Our mission is to offer the best animal health care available. Lockport Animal Hospital, providing excellence in pet health care. Why buy when you can borrow? Stop by today and check out More Than Books. Since opening in 1996, Flossmoor Station Restaurant has been all about quality, from a lively atmosphere and not to mention the friendly, knowledgeable staff. Our gourmet food pub combines quality fare with locally sourced seasonal specials that will keep you coming back and back again.
Welcome back, everyone. It's London Fargo up here in the booth as the Porters line up, 4 split out wide. Tomoshek is QB. Yeah, I mean, he's looked good coming out in the second half. Tomoshek.
Definitely had a lot of good passes. The offensive line was playing their best football of the night so far, and things have completely flipped on its ear right now for this Lockport offense. The one touchdown a couple drives ago, that's been all that's been working for them.
The Vikings DB's pressing here. Looks like they could be showing blitz, and they do send a blitz. Tomoshek under pressure. He dumps off to Lepesti. Lepesti cuts up, and he's going to be stopped around the line of scrimmage.
Going to his favorite part, target Lepesti. He's been one of the few playmakers on the offense that has managed to get something going here throughout this night.
That went for little to no gain. It looks like a gain of 1 there. Gain of 2 for the Porters. I mean, struggling to find offense all of a sudden again, right out.
You would think that, you know, after that touchdown, they would go out there, have the same energy. They just look out of it so far. Look like they don't even want to be here. I don't know what's with that. They've got to change that around here.
Lepesti under pressure. Oh, and he breaks the sack. And he gets it. Picked off. Picked off. Pick 6 for the Vikings. That'll be number 4, Kadari Kearns, like we said. The big playmaker on defense. Best DB last year, and there he is with his first interception of the year, taking that one to the house.
Just swarmed the quarterback there. He didn't even know where he was going. He just had to get rid of the ball. Kearns comes up, great ball control, makes the play, takes it to the house. Just nobody around him to stop that.
Tomoshek had no chance on that play. I mean, swarmed by the Viking defense. Everyone covered. And Kadari Kearns just sitting there waiting for that ball.
Justin Thomas led the Generals on that one. They went out there. They just swarmed the quarterback. I keep going. He just didn't know what he was doing. They were getting their hands in there. The line was just falling apart around him. He just tried to get the ball off. Left the points on the board. They're trying to dump the ball off there.
Ethan Lindquist will be kicking the Vikings extra point. One thing to notice there, when Tomoshek was leaving the field, he did walk off with a little bit of a limp. So that could sign a QB change. And yes, it looks like Riley Pfeiffer is warming up on the sidelines. Let's take a look at that play again on the pick 6 by Kadari Kearns.
You see, they're showing blitz. They absolutely do blitz. Sending everybody. The line was not ready. The gobble him up there. Pursuit was led by Justin Thomas. Kearns was right there. Grabbed the ball out of midair. Took it back to the house for 6.
And one thing you saw, Tomoshek got wrapped up by 4 Vikings defender and got twisted around. I mean,
definitely.
I don't expect to see him back out there for this next drive.
Pfeiffer's getting suited back up. He struggled through the interception.
And the kick is blocked. The kick, extra point, is blocked by the Porters.
Special teams has been perfect all day long. Just a bump in the road here. Should not let them affect them. It's 34-7. They have hit my point total. I predicted Preston. They have hit my point total. They've been playing great.
Could we see more?
Let's see it. Bozia has got a lot of tricks in store heading into the 4th. We're going to be very excited to see what he has to offer here going into the 4th.
I would expect Riley Pfeiffer to come out here for the Porters on offense. And, I mean, if that's the case, I don't see the Porters doing anything. I mean, we saw what he did earlier in this game in the most of the first half. He did not look good at all.
He had a couple of throws here and there that maybe showed flashes, hitting, yelling a couple times on a couple drives. But other than that, yes, sloppy play. Terrible play. Terrible play. But he's going to look to come out here, change his mindset. He's going to look to come out here, get this offense back and forth. I think he's got a brand new mindset. He's going to have the confidence coming here, look and say, look, we don't have a lot of time. We've got to get out here and make best do what we have.
One thing, though, if Pfeiffer does come back out, Keegan Robertson was one of his favorite targets early, and we saw him make that big catch earlier in the second half for the Porters. I would expect Keegan Robertson to have pretty big drive if Pfeiffer comes back out.
That was Pfeiffer's favorite target, Robinson. When they have connected, they've been for positive yardage. They have just essentially carried the offense so far. These wide receivers, so we'll look to see that connection again.
Ethan Lindquist set to kick for the Vikings. Porters with 2 set deep to return this one. And Lindquist with a short kick, returned at around the 25 by the Porters. And that'll go for about 7.
Some solid field positioning for Pfeiffer to come out here, look to get some points while they have some time left in this quarter. Look to go into the fourth with some momentum. Let's see how they play this field position here.
And yes, it is looking like Pfeiffer did enter the huddle there. We'll see who takes the field here in just a second. Yes, Pfeiffer is back out there under center for the Porters.
Definitely looking to come in and look, if I'm Pfeiffer, put the first half behind me. Put that interception behind me. That was really his last play before he was benched. We're going to go in. We're going to look to change it. Look to just play to our system. Play to what's been working.
With a run here, Lepesky, good for about 6 yards for the Porters. Strong physical runner.
Lepesky, again, a part of that two-headed duo. Lepesky being the head of that duo. Going out there, making plays, just trying to get this offense moving along here.
Kalel, one guy who's been really quiet for the Porters in this second half, William Orban. I mean, we've heard his name a couple of times, but he was the offense in the first half.
But like we said, they were down big. They had to stray away from him. I'm going to look at him to come back in this fourth quarter, get Orban back out there, get him back reoriented into the offense.
And that'll go for a run for Lepesky, and that will be a Porters first down.
Again, great run there. Trying to get the run game going. They have not been relying on the run game. Look for them to do that. If they can get that going, they can get a lot of space around them, get them some yards, keep this offense
Looks
on
like
the
they're
field.
going to try to get one play off left here in the third quarter, and they're going to run it. That'll go for about a gain of 4.
Great quarter of football.
Lepesky once again with the carry.
We saw the first touchdown of the Porters in that quarter. You look, they have the very promising drive. Going to look to repeat that here, and I believe they can. They've been relying a lot on the run game. It has been panning out with Pesky being a part of that. Now with the quarterback switch, going to look to get him back in his rhythm. Pfeiffer.
We're going to cut to a commercial break here in a sec. You are watching Viking Football on VTV.
Buy, sell, or pawn things of value. We have been here in business since 1964, servicing the community.
For generations, Krispy Kreme has been serving delicious donuts and coffee. Our mission is to serve the community and make the most awesome donuts on the planet every single day. So stop by Krispy Kreme today.
We all have one. That perfect spot. A special place where you can go to smooth out the ripples of the day. It might be in the hallway or in the radio station. It might be in the television studio or in an editing room with friends. Wherever it may be, creating a masterpiece is the ultimate goal. It allows us to escape from anything weighing down on us, from anything hampering our day. Our perfect spot is calming. Our perfect spot is Viking Broadcasting.
Welcome back, everyone. And one thing so far for the Vikings, I would say, is on defense is, like we have said all game, the line under pressure. But all of it, Lockport Porters in the second half have done a great job to minimize that.
Definitely. Offensive line coming out a lot more stronger. Not letting them get pucked around. Like what the coach coming out of halftime, they got to make the plays that weren't there in the first half. They've been doing that so far. Look to get some points on the board if they can continue to keep that up.
And that play right there was targeted William Orban, and that was underthrown by Riley Pfeiffer. I mean, great coverage, too, by the Vikings. There are two guys there. It's a tough play.
Trying to get it to their top target on so far. They got the own production back. Orban didn't work out there, but go back here again on this next play.
This is where, if you're the Porters, you got to start taking shots downfield. You got to start taking risks. You're running out of time. Time is not on your side here. And Riley Pfeiffer will keep it. He'll run for about 18 yards and a Lockport first down.
Great vision there by Pfeiffer. Realizing he has nobody downfield. Vikings have everybody deep. Has plenty of space for Pfeiffer to run and get the first down. Great vision. Great play all around.
Great play by Pfeiffer, extending that play out, using his legs. I mean, we didn't see that much in the first half, but it's coming out sharp in the second so far. Pfeiffer, handoff to his running back, Lepesti, and that'll be good for about a carry of 8 by Lepesti. Lepesti he's looked really, really good this second half, and has gotten most of the touches out of the backfield too.
Definitely. Getting your workhorse in there, get him involved, make sure he stays oriented so he does not become obsolete for the rest of this game.
I wouldn't be surprised. Lepesti with the carry, and it looks like he's going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of 1.
There's that D-line, led by Justin Thomas, getting back in that backfield, not letting anything fly.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Porters start going to Willen Orban again in the run game, too. I mean, get some fresh legs out there, just get a new look. But, I mean, it has been working for Lepesti, so see what they stay with.
Well, very interesting to see what they say. We got a lot of time here in the fourth, a lot of time turning around.
Oh, and that play is blown up in the backfield by the Vikings, trying to hand it off to Lepesti, and it just did not work.
That D-line, we talk about it. They're aggressive, they're nasty, they're physical. We saw it there in that last play.
That was sophomore linebacker Christian McKenney, number 21, who we talked about earlier. Has been quiet all game, but there you go. There he is.
What a way to get your name out there. First sack for him this year.
Great tackle for loss by McKinney. And, I mean, Porters, 4th and 1. You have no choice to go for it. See what they do here. Hand off to Lepesti, and it looks like he's going to have the first down.
They had to go for it there. Smart decision, run the ball. Don't want to risk messing up the solid field position by throwing the ball. Very smart choice. Get the ball to Lepesti. He got the first down.
I mean, Lepesti's been their guy the second half. I mean, they've leaned on him. Whenever they have needed yards, he has gotten it for them.
And even with the quarterback switch he has, we figure we see a lot more Pfeiffer throwing the ball, but they're still relying on that run game. Maybe they have not trust Pfeiffer enough to get him throwing back the ball.
Pfeiffer, drop back. Looks for the end zone, and that's going to be overthrown.
Great play drawn up there by Lockport. They know what they want to do. It just was not there. But from Pfeiffer, I'm putting that play behind us, moving on to the next play. I've got to go out there and say they can even run that same play again. There was a guy, if that defensive back was not back, that was going to be a touchdown. He would have been open.
Pfeiffer targeted tight end Quinn Kelly there. It's one of the first times all game he's gone to a tight end. And, I mean, see what happens.
Hey, like you said, size, this is where the field is going to get a lot condensed, a lot more smaller. Size is going to play key here. If they can look to target another tight end here, look for them to get some points on the board.
I wouldn't be surprised if Quinn Kelly got some more looks here. I mean, like you said, trying to get size. This is a look for Kyle Yellen, and that's going to go for about 2 to 3 yards for the Porters.
Yellen caught the touchdown earlier.
Once again, stays in it.
Incorporator, staying and keeping it incorporated. Look at the replay here. Just some decent blocking up front. Able to make something out of nothing there, get a couple positive yards on that play.
1 yard gain for Yellen. 3rd and 9 for the Porters. 26 to go for them. I mean, for the Porters here, I mean, your priority is the first down, but they might be looking for an end zone shot here too. You have 2 plays here. Porters under pressure, and he looks to dump it off. Oh, and he breaks the tackle, and that's a Porter touchdown. Like we said, another guy to look at, Keegan Robertson, one of Pfeiffer's favorite targets in the first.
We talked about Keegan Robertson's ability to separate and ability just to stay in it. We saw he got some separation, didn't let the tackle phase him, broke off the tackle, got a little air time up in there.
Yeah.
Dove for the touchdown there. Scored.
Keegan Robertson, like you said, with air time. Great play by getting up in the air and getting into the end zone. I mean, you don't know it. He could have been stood up. That's a great play by the receiver and great yards after catch.
Great ball security there. Another score here.
And that'll be a timeout taken. Let's take a look at that last play by Keegan Robertson.
We see
Pfeiffer rolls out.
Got it. Great ability to fit in that window. Robertson stays with it. Got a little air time. Got a little Air Jordan with it with the one hand. Broke the line. Got the touchdown. Great play all around by the Porters.
That was great play by the Porters there. And the extra point is good. With 34-14, 20-point lead for the Vikings with 9:04 left to go.
Definitely. We saw that Lockport offense fight for. They let him throw the ball, got some confidence, was able to trust Robinson, who's been one of his top targets today. We saw what that resulted in. If they can get a lot more of that, look for this to be a different ball game.
I would say if the Porters, they're looking to win this game, they need a big defensive takeaway here and potentially a defensive score.
Definitely, whatever you got to do. You saw HF. They've utilized those points on the defense side. They've had great ball security when they're catching the ball, taking it to the house. We're going to need to see a lot more out of the Lockport defensive backs. And they can hold these receivers, Walton and Allen, down. They're going to do a great job of putting the offense in position to score some more points.
One thing I would look for here for the Vikings on this drive is running back number 5, Sean Allen, who we've talked about all game, superstar for the Vikings. I would expect him to get a lot of touches this drive. Trying to true clock, 20-point lead. I would look for him a lot this drive.
Definitely saw him heating up that last drive. Got a couple big scamper. Would not be surprised to see him again. We'll see what Bazia decides to do with him this next drive.
The Porters set to kick it off. Cameron Cox set back for the Vikings to return this one. Kick is off, and it's going to be short. It's going to be around the 30. The Vikings return it for about 7 yards.
Great starting field position for Pratt in this offense and Sean Allen. Very interested to see what they do. Pratt's been on his A game all game today. Allen starting to heat up a bit. We're going to definitely look to see Bazia to get him incorporated. I can't stress this enough. Big thing now, if you're a quick Bazia, shoot a clock. 8:56 left to go. If you can wind that clock down, you may even can hold the ball for the rest of the game. Just wind that clock down. Don't try and go for too much here. Wind the clock down. Soak this game away.
Like you said, once again, the Vikings with great starting field position. I mean, we've been saying that all game. That's been the motto of the game. Vikings, once again, with great starting field position. Like every single time, we're just continuously say it.
Definitely. That's played a big factor into the offense and how Pratt has been able to have a lot of time, have great offensive line help as well. Receivers have enough space, utilizing the run after the catch.
Pratt drops back. Look for Miles Walton. Wide open down the field to the 10, to the end zone. Touchdown, Vikings. Well, that didn't take long, Kalel.
We talked about Walton's ability in the open field. We just saw it there. Turned on the afterburners. Kissed everybody goodbye. He is one of the best receivers in this conference when he has plenty of open space. We saw it there. Great composure by Pratt. Line was starting to collapse on him. He stayed composed, put the ball only where Walton could get it. Open space. Results in the Viking touchdown.
Let's take another look at that play there by Walton.
We see the line. He was about to get sacked. Stay with it. Just got the ball off in time. Put it to only where Walton could get it. Great. Just great.
Busted coverage by the Porters, too. I mean, great. That's great vision by Pratt to read that downfield wide open. And the extra point is up, and it is good by Ethan Lindquist.
We talked about it. Walton, just a different animal when he's in the open field. We saw the busted coverage like you just said, Preston. Nobody's back. He was all by himself. Took it to the house for 6.
I mean, we talked about how they might want to true clock there with Sean Allen. How we expect Sean Allen to get a lot of touches there. And boom, one play out, Walton, touchdown.
Hey, Buzz has been doing this for 30 years. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. We didn't expect that. Nobody expect that here in the stadium. Touchdown nonetheless.
That's a heartbreaker and heart crusher for the Porters. I mean, like we were saying, like big defensive takeaway, potentially defensive score. They're still in this game, looking at a chance to potentially win it, and it's going to be tough here for the Porters now.
Definitely, time is not on their side. But hey, we've seen anything happen. Anything's happened.
Anything has happened, but this will be tough. Ethan Lundquist will be set to kick this one away for the Vikings. And let's look at Pratt. I mean, Pratt in his first game starting has been fantastic all game. Very few mistakes, if any mistakes.
Second connection with Walton for a touchdown. That's going to be something we got for all season. Just getting heated up here, just getting started in game 1 of the year. Look for that connection all throughout the rest of the season.
Yes, William Orban is in the backfield or in the back to receive this for the Porters, like he has been all game. And another thing is, if the Porters have to get a good return here. They have to make up some yards here. Hopefully you get something going on this drive. Porters with the return. Cut up field for good for about 8 to 9.
Relatively good starting field position here. Excited. We saw those passes at the end of the last drive for the Lockport Porters. Pfeiffer made some very excellent passes, hooking up with Robinson there. Was it a touchdown? Would not be surprised if he goes back to Robinson or Yelling again.
I would not either, and I would also look for them to split out like we've seen Lepesti earlier in the game getting some passes out of the backfield. I would look for Lepesti out of the backfield here too.
Definitely. Anything is open. Whatever's going to get points on it, whatever's going to get this offense moving down the field. I can't stress this enough. Pfeiffer, when it's not there, he's rolling out. He's not taking a sack. He's trying to get all the positive yards he can to keep this offense going.
When the Vikings, I wonder if they're going to stay true to their identity on defense. They have blitzed the whole game. But, I mean, you know pass is coming here, most likely this drive. I wonder if they're going to play more conservative and stay back. No, handoff to Lepesti, and that's good for about 2 yards.
Lepesti been the main back so far in this second half. What the two-man shows now becoming more of a one-man show. We see the D-line of the Homewood Flossmoor Vikings getting back there, stuffing that, minimizing the yards that he is getting here.
Donovan Caesar with, like we said earlier, came out hot in this second half. Donovan Caesar with the tackle there. I mean, he's been all over his offense on the second half.
Him and Justin Thomas has been tearing it up, getting back there, creating pressure, making it hard for the quarterback.
Pfeiffer looking deep, and that's going to be caught by Robertson, but that's going to look like it's going to be an offensive pass interference. Robertson looked like he had a push off there on the DB.
What a play gone to waste. Great ball position by Pfeiffer. Put it on where the receiver could get it, and the receiver, had he not gotten tripped up, was going to take that to the house for 6.
Yes, and I think that flag is looking like that play is coming back, and that looks like it will be against the Porters here. Another thing is to look at, you see them there. They're taking deep shots there with their quarterback. I mean, you have to. You're under 8 minutes to play. You got to make something happen. You got to take risks. You got to go downfield.
Anything is open here. That was a great risk right there. Showing deep ball. We see Pfeiffer have the arm, throwing it downfield. Was connected, but the flag offset that. But you can't let that discourage you. You gotta get out there, next play mentality, and try and get some points on the board here this drive.
Got to credit Pfeiffer there, though. Great throw by Pfeiffer.
Great. Put it the only way the receiver could get it. Had that not been a flag, had he not gotten tripped, that would have gone to the house for 6 for sure.
So now the Porters are going to be backed up here for 3rd down. And, I mean, I would expect them to go for, you have to expect another deep play here. You're about 23 to the 1st down.
Very interesting to see what's up here.
I'd look for Yellen right here.
Or even Robinson. Those have been the 2 main receivers.
Robertson has been his deep threat all game, too. Pfeiffer in shotgun. Low snap. He looks for Robertson. And that's good for about a gain of 10.
Great. We said he was going to go back to Robinson. Just not enough space for him to work around, try and get open. Didn't happen there. But, hey, next play mentality, got to move on here.
Tackle made by number 4 for Kadari Kearns by the Vikings. Lockport with a gain of 12 there. 3rd and 11. Pfeiffer in shotgun. 4 split out wide. Pfeiffer rolls out. And that's going to be incomplete, intended for tight end Quinn Kelly.
We saw the ability to Pfeiffer. Play was breaking down. Stay composed. Went out there, rolled out to his left, saw a receiver, just couldn't keep his feet in bounds. But overall, great sequence of plays right there.
He's looked a lot better in the second half. He looks like he's under control now.
Like I said, going into halftime, you got to put the first half behind you. That's the key. You can't have this negative attitude coming out of the break, or else you're going to continue to have negative play. We've seen Pfeiffer do that. He's looked a lot better coming into the second half of football ever since he got replaced.
Looks like the Porters, they have no choice but to really keep the offense out there. 7 minutes left, down multi-scores.
If they don't get it here, you can kiss this game goodnight.
You can kiss this game goodbye. That's ball game. 4th and 2 for the Porters. I would look for Lepesti here. They've gone to all game for short gains. This is a long 4th and 2, though. And he's going to be short.
nowhere close.
Pfeiffer tried to keep it, and he's going to be taken down behind the line of scrimmage.
We talk about that dual threat of Pfeiffer. He tried to put out showcase there. If he would have gotten free, there was nobody on the field to get him. That could have broken off for big yardage there.
Play made by number 33 for the Vikings, Donovan Caesar, once again wreaking havoc on that line.
Justin Thomas. They've been wreaking havoc all night long. These two quarterbacks that have had out there have had no room to throw. They've been coming flustered, losing bearings around them. They've been forced to roll out. Just been all in all great.
Let's go down to our sideline reporter, Olivia, who's got an interesting fact for us.
We just learned that Lockport has not beaten the HF Vikings in 12 years since Coach Buzz took over, and it's not looking like they're going to break that stride anytime soon. We're at 41-14 Vikings, so we're keeping that victory round 13 again. Going back to you guys.
Thank you, Olivia. And wow, 12 years, I mean, make that 13 now when this game goes final.
Definitely. Talk about the ability, staying consistent here. 13 straight W's for the Homewood Foster football team against this Lockport team. They've had several good programs in the past, but HF's been able to prevail, and now they're going to look to leave out of here with a W tonight.
And there was a 4-yard carry by Jaden Price. Sean Allen is not in the back row now. It was sophomore Cameron Cox. I wouldn't really expect Sean Allen to be out there the rest of the game. There's no need to.
Definitely don't want to risk Illinois State commit getting hurt. He's going to be a big part of this team this year. Don't need that. Let the young guys get in there, get some experience. Let's see if they got the bring.
And that looks like with the fighting, looks like he's going to be good for a Viking first down. Oh, and we got an injury on the field. This does not look good.
He went down, grabbing at his knee right away. Does not look good here.
Knee injuries are never good, and when he grabs it right away, that's not a good thing.
You can see trainers ran right out there assessing them. This could be big for the Homewood Philosopher offense.
One thing I would like to point out on that last play, though, is Cameron Cox with strong upper body. I mean, you saw him fight for those extra yards there for that first down.
Definitely. I talk about upper body strength all the time. We've seen it with Sean, and we're now seeing it with Cameron here.
Yeah, I mean, as you can see right here on this run, breaks one tackle, breaks two, and then falls forward for the first down.
On his back, he was dragging them. That's how big of an asset that upper body strength is. Being able to stay up on your feet, having good control of that upper body is key to getting those yards, those tough yards you've got to fight for.
So like we were talking about quarterback Alex Pratt earlier. Let's go back to him. I said very few to little mistakes. I mean, it looked dominant all game.
What a way to start the first game ever, a starting quarterback here for varsity. Great job by Pratt. Working on the tutelage of Dominic Jones for the last 3 seasons. We've seen it in full force here tonight.
And another thing is I would expect the Vikings to there's under 6 minutes to go. I'd expect the Vikings to here. They're going to put in their 2 and 3 backs, and they're just going to pound the rock. They're going to wear out Lockport. They're just going to try to burn clock, wear out Lockport, and send this game home.
Definitely salt this game away.
The injured player is number 11, Tawan Wilson, tight end. This does not look good. He's struggling walking off under his own power right now. This is a shame for the Vikings.
We're sending well wishes here from VTV. You got to get out there. Next play mentality. One of your brothers is down. Can't let that affect you going. Just got to finish out this game strong and do it for your fellow teammate. He would not want you being out there all disappointed. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how this affects the Homewood Philosopher offense here going forward with less than 5 minutes to go.
I mean, you hate to see it with, anyone, but in their first game to senior to, this could be the end to his football career at HF.
We can't look at the negative right now. We just gotta move forward. Hope he gets better. Just gotta get back out there. Next play mentality.
Vikings breaking huddle right now. And looked like running back Jaden Price will be in the backfield here. They are split out. They have 4 split out wide. I would expect the Vikings 3rd and 1. I would expect the Vikings to keep this ball on the ground here. Go for the first down and chew some clock.
Definitely don't want to risk messing up this big lead they have. They played dominant in all 4 phases, looking to finish strong here.
Handoff, Jaden Price cuts up, and that's good for about a gain of 5, 6.
Great play by the O-line up front, creating space, let them turn the field, cut up field, in the open field a little bit, get those extra yardage.
And another thing is, too, it's very hard for a running back for the Vikings, and if it's a close game, to get touches not named Sean Allen, too. As you see now when it's blowing, I mean, you're not going to see Sean Allen the rest of this game.
Hey.
Did you see
Sean's all for getting the young guys out there. We're going to see what they have, what this program look like 2-3 years from now. Very excited to see what they have.
As you see now, Cameron Cox is in the backfield. Vikings are rotating running backs every other play. Keep the legs fresh.
Same strategy Lockport was doing. We'll see how this pans out for HF here.
Pratt, handoff to Cameron Cox. That's good for about a gain of 4.
Cox getting the ball, making utilization of what the O-line is giving him, that space they were giving him, creating him. It's been resulting in these 4 or 5 yard gains. And it's going to add up over time. Go ahead and salt this game away for the Homewood Flossmoor Vikings.
I want to take a second and talk about this offensive line here for the Vikings. I mean, we saw they played good towards the end of the first half. They came out of the second half pretty sloppy, and then they've started to turn it back around. I mean, it's been up and down for this new line for the Vikings all game.
That's gotta stop. It's gotta be one unit. We said they came out sloppy out of the half. You can't have that. And I give them credit. It came up. They shored up their offensive line. They fixed their struggles so far. But going forward, they've got to get those struggles down. They got to get them together, because when those struggle, Alex Pratt struggle, Sean Allen struggle, the 2 big money makers of this offense struggle, and the offensive line struggle.
You can't have that, especially next week with the toughest matchup they're going to have all year against Lincoln Way East.
Definitely.
I mean, you got to hope everything's on. Everything's got to be right for next week.
Revenge game. Lost 26-7, November 16, 2019 in the playoffs. HF was the favorite to win that game. Did not happen. So it's going to be a revenge game for them next week against Lincoln Way East at home.
Jaden Price on the carry, and that's going to go for a loss of yards.
Definitely.
As you see for the Vikings, the chewed clock, chewed down 2 minutes in the last couple seconds. And then, I mean, loss of 3 for the Vikings there. 3rd and 8. Let's go back to talking about the Lincoln Way East game. Like you said, last year, revenge game. I mean, what could we expect next week from the Vikings?
A lot of dominance, coming out hungry from the get-go. They're going to go out, play aggressive, put a lot of what we've seen in this game, coming out fast, aggressive, using their skills to an advantage for them. They went out today. Look forward to see a lot of what we saw today next week. Justin Thomas and Cesar coming out, creating the pressure, getting pressure on the quarterback, making it hard for him to get a lot of just opportunities to throw.
It's a good run by the Vikings with Cameron Cox. And like you said, they're going to come out hungry. They have no choice to come out hungry. It's going to be a new look for each team next week for the Vikings and Lincoln Way East, with them losing both big stars on each teams.
You're talking about Lincoln Way East, A.J. Henning, off at Michigan. The big offensive threat for them. It's going to be exciting to see how both teams come in. But a lot of changes on both sides of football for both teams. Very excited to see how they utilize these new stars.
Another thing, you point out A.J. Henning. Another thing I want to point out is last year when the Vikings did play him, the kicker for Lincoln Way East dominated. Multiple 50-yard field goal attempts. I mean, he's gone. He's at Miami of Ohio. But you'll just see, I mean, so it's going to be interesting to see how the Vikings approach it with a different Lincoln Way East team coming to town.
Definitely, you become accustomed to these guys. You play them, you get accustomed to their playing styles, but you can't let that happen. They got new guys in here now. Gonna have to look to adapt. Coach Buzz is very good at doing that, adapt to the situation very well. Gonna be excited to see what Buzz has in store for the Lincoln Way East Griffins next week.
Gain of 6 on the play for the Vikings. 2nd and 4 with under 2 left in the game.
Definitely salt down this clock. What we expect them to do, come in, salt down the clock, go home with a victory, enjoy the first one of the season, get back out there Monday morning.
Cameron Cox and Jaden Price are in the backfield, running Wildcat. Hand off to Cameron Cox, and he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. I mean, there's nothing much you could ask for, I guess.
All-around dominance in all 4 stages. And shout out to Alex Pratt. First game, big lights, Friday Night Lights. Not the ideal setting, not the Kenzie Cranes here cheering him on, but nonetheless, he excelled in all 4 stages. Staying to himself, staying composed, putting the ball where it needs to be, the only way his receivers could get it, and we've seen it pay off. 41 points on the board tonight.
Yeah. 3rd and 5 for the Vikings on the 10. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what they do here. If they stay true, try to burn the clock out, run the ball, kick a field goal, or even just run it completely out, or if they try to get greedy with it and pile it on and go for a touchdown.
We see here they're just standing around, taking their time, 49.2 left. Timeout is called, just trying to stop that clock. But all in all, great game here for the Vikings. Going to go home, enjoy their weekend with a W on the year.
Yeah, I mean, great opening day for the Vikings. As we said, we saw they started out this game early with the offense with a early 21-point lead against Porters. Then slowed down for a little, came out of the second half pretty slow, and then picked it back up. Defense with 2 scores is huge for the Vikings, their success this season.
Definitely. Defensive back played a big role adding to that lead. Ball security, being able to control the ball when they had the ball, taking it to the house. Shout out to the blockers up front, creating that space for them to be able to take it back to the house and add on to this lead. All around, can't keep saying it enough. Dominance in all 4 stages of the football.
Cameron Cox and Jaden Price will be in the backfield for the Vikings here when this play comes underway. But like you were saying, I mean, if the Vikings want to be East next week, one thing they're going to need is they got 2 defensive touchdowns tonight. They're going to need one next week if they want to win that game.
The Yards defense has been pivotal for them this big lead. They've been big, aggressive. They're big, aggressive, getting to the quarterback. Then defensive backs, like you said, the 2 interceptions. That is going to play a big role in whether they make it East or not. If they can
And the
push
Vikings
touchdowns, it can result in a W.
The Vikings are going to knee this one out, and it looks like it's going to be a win here for the Vikings.
Great way to start the season. Great way for Coach Bud starting his final year here. Great debut day for Alex Pratt. Great guy. Great guy. Comes out, plays his best football of his life. Not the ideal situation. We wish the Casey Cranes were here. We've got a few fans out here cheering them on, and they were here to witness history tonight. This guy balled out.
I mean, like we said all night, I mean, same motto, Alex Pratt. He's been great. And that will just about do it for you folks as the clock ticks down to below 0. And there you go, you hit triple zeros. W for the Vikings. Final score was 14-41 Vikings.
Great dominance all around. Alex Pratt, player of the game. Great ball placement on that line. Staying composed, knowing that offense running under the tutelage of Dominic Jones. Running under Dominic Jones, he's able to take that tutelage, put it in today's game, mashing the offense these couple years. We've seen it pay off tonight. Great win, 40-plus points on the board. Miles Walton, his #1 target. Tough day for Sean Allen, but he's going to look to get his head out there, hit the ground running Monday morning. We'll see this team in action next Friday. Lincoln Way East, revenge game.
I think one thing, if they do want to beat East next week too, I would expect Sean Allen to have a huge game on the ground next week.
Definitely.
I mean, they don't win that game next week without Sean Allen.
Hey, they did it tonight. Sean Allen, he's got to get his head in there. He's got to get his bearings. He's got to go out there. He's got to be himself. But that offensive line has also got to be able to create space. When they created space tonight for him, we saw that big playability of Sean Allen pan out. If the offensive line can do what they did for about 85% of this game, Sean Allen's going to have a monster game next Friday against Viking Football East.
I was really surprised with the amount of deep shots the Vikings took with quarterback Alex Pratt today.
Definitely. We talk about that, and it was been a big factor in winning this game here. They go home with a win, get back at it Monday morning. Great win for the Vikings tonight.
Yeah, I mean, like we said in the pregame, like they got to stay true to their identity, short passes, pound the rock. They did early on, but I mean,
They did do it early on.
A new interesting look for the Vikings, and I mean, it could be fun all season.
Thank you. That combo of Pratt and Walton is going to be very interesting how it develops. It's going to be very interesting to see how that develops. And you see that connection that they've had is going to be really excited. Just getting the start of it, just scratching the surface of that connection they're going to have this year.
And then we're about to send this down to sideline reporter, player of the game.
I'm here with player of the game, Alex Pratt, quarterback for HF. You got your final start, starting quarterback for HF after Dominic Jones graduated last year. How are you feeling being the leader of the team this year?
It feels great. The offensive line did a great job giving me plenty of time to throw. Sean Allen, he's a great player. And Lockport played us really hard. They earned our respect tonight.
How do you think the offense is looking this early in the season?
I think we look pretty good. We got some things to clean up, but we're going to take care of that.
And what are you looking forward to most this season with your team?
I'm looking forward to having a lot of fun with them. I mean, we didn't really think we were going to get a season, so it's really a blessing. So I'm looking forward to having a lot of fun with them, playing with them.
Next week you have Lincoln Way East. It's always a tough one. How much are you looking forward to that, and how are you guys going about that?
Well, I'm looking forward to it, and us players, we're going to trust our coaches to put in a great game plan, and we're going to make sure that we execute.
Thank you so much. Player of the game, Alex Pratt, senior quarterback for HF Vikings. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you.
Talk about Alex Pratt.
Thank you, Olivia. And I mean, like we've said all game, Alex Pratt has been so great. One player of the game. What do you think about this?
Great performance. He's a senior. Great performance. He's going to be a great key to next week's matchup against Viking Football. He's going to be very excited to see how he develops throughout this year. Very young career ahead of him.
Yeah, and like you said, next week matchups versus Lincoln Way East. I mean, tough matchup for the Vikings, and I mean that'll just about do it here, folks. Vikings 41, Porters 14. Look for next week's matchup versus the Lincoln Way East Griffins. This is Kalel Fargo and Preston Lund from VTV.